Hello, and welcome to Nostalgia Marcana. I'm your host, Doug Leaf. Each episode of this podcast, we'll look back on the movies, TV, games, people, and phenomena that we still love talking about all these years later, and ask ourselves why these bits of pop culture still enchant us today. This week, we'll be revisiting...
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Nah, I couldn't be there. Nah, you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare. Intangible, bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view, look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose, all you different crews. Chicks and dudes who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe. Spiritual hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to those, the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on the hype shit. You like it? Gun smoke, you're righteous with one toke. You're psychic among those, possess you with one though.
I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long. The future is coming on. Ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming.
In the year 2001, an extraterrestrial signal sends mankind on a journey to the outer solar system, the infinite and beyond, and aggrandizes the scale of human evolution. Sorry, that's the film 2001. The year 2001 sucked ass. But it also had some great music, and I'm really excited that we're going to be digging into the music of this period. I've got a full crew tonight to help me do it. They're the same crew that helped us do 98, 95, 91, and 90, so I'm glad we're all back to do 01. So I'm going to start by introducing our first guest. He has been on the show many, many times before, and will continue to be on many, many times into the future, I hope. Please welcome back comedian Rich Baker.
Always a pleasure to be here, Doug. I'm very excited to talk about this very interesting year in music.
Yes, and a very interesting year otherwise for reasons that we don't need to talk about so much, hopefully. All right, let me also introduce to my right, my producer, my bestest, my wife, Ami Lief.
Hello, it's so exciting to have the band back together. I'm so excited for this.
Indeed, and of course, our final returning guest has been on many musical podcasts before, not only on these year roundups, but also many of our in-depth episodes on bands, including Weezer, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, and more. My brother-in-law, Kyle Lieberman.
Good evening, 2001 music lovers. What's shaking?
Guys, I'm really excited to be talking about this because I think this is going to be a very interesting sampling of stuff. Because the music of this period is really all over the place. We talked about that a bit with 98, and like the trend line continues through here as music kind of fractured in terms of just different genres going in different directions. So I'll start as we always do with our nostalgic memories of this period. And Rich, I'll throw it to you first.
Napster came out in 99, same year I graduated high school, started college, same year I found religion. It was a very interesting time in my life, a lot of changes happening, and I was really into classic rock and older music, but so when you said 2001, I was afraid. I was like, oh man, do I even have enough songs? Of course I do. I have way too many, like always. My honorable mentions list is too long, but there was a lot of good stuff. But yes, you hit the nail on the head. Different genres, different, the 95 to 98 list for me looked a little different, but the difference between 98 and 2001 is pretty stark.
All right. Amy, how about you?
Yeah, so 2001, I would have been in my second year of college, third year of college. Kyle's motioning. I was in college, and so I think so much of my college experience with music was exploring different artists and finding things on Napster. I don't know if Napster was still around at this point.
Oh, yeah.
But searching online and finding random artists. Now, I would say most of my list is more commercial, like widely known music, but this was a time when I was exploring a lot of music and going to a lot of shows and just, like the genres are all over the place. I don't know.
Kyle?
Nostalgia for me, 2001 is probably more personal stuff that bled into music. 2001 was, I feel like was probably, I was, I guess 23, 24. I felt like it was the last of me kind of being young and me growing up. By 2002, 2003, I had a kid, and in 1999, I was partying. 2001 is kind of a transitional time. And there, of course, so much going on in the world at that time. When it comes to the music of 2001, man, guys, I gotta tell you, not my favorite year. I thought it was because the few near the top of my list, which we'll get to how we made the list, are very, very strong. But once I started getting into it, I started realizing, I think part of the reason for that was because I was 23, 24. I was kind of growing up more, and it wasn't so much of that. I was 12 listening to Motley Crue. This year was very different. As Rich said, it was very transitional. The stuff that was coming out in 97, 98 was not what was coming out in 2001. So I'm really curious to see where you guys came. I don't predict too many crossovers on this, but we shall see.
Yeah, and my experience with this is fairly similar to yours, Amy. I was 1 year ahead of you in college. So because this was like deep into my college experience, this would have been the end of my junior year and the beginning of my senior year. Music for me at this time was a lot about, what my friends were listening to, people just wanting to show me things, people sharing really more independent artists, stuff that was, popular, among this kind of subset of like college kids being traded around. And so some of my things were commercial hits. Many of them are not. There's a surprising number of covers between my actual list and my honorable mentions that were pretty good around this time. I suspect a few of those may show up between our lists. But yeah, this was not a period where I had a very defined sense of music. I still had my classic rock stuff behind me that I always loved, but this was, as you'll see from this list, as I think everybody seems to agree, they're all over the place.
And that might be, I don't know, because we all kind of feel that way. I wonder if the internet had a big part of that, because in 98, right, we were still getting our stuff on the radio and buying CDs. By 2001, it was Napster, and maybe that's kind of when it exploded and why there's so many different types of styles this year.
Yeah, it was certainly a big thing for me in college, just having somebody send me an ICQ message to really date myself, or, an AIM, and say hey, I'm going to send you a file, right? Here, just go on a Napster or LimeWire or whatever. And that was, that was the benefit of that was people exposing you to things you might not otherwise have heard. So that may have played a part in it as well.
I had a lot of, I'm just going to go on, there was music websites, and it would just have random artists and I'm sure that still exists through Apple Music, but it was different then. I would just click a couple songs. If I liked it, great. If not, move on. I would buy, not Billboard magazine, but there were other music magazines that I would get, and I'd flip to something that just based on the person's face, I'd go online and I'd check out the music and see if I liked it. So it was definitely exploring different things. And previously for me, my music was oh, Kyle's listening to this, I'm going to check it out. And as we go into the late 90s and into the early 2000s, it was definitely more of me
independent,
figuring out what makes Amy happy. Yeah.
I just forgot to mention, this was also the first time I was ever a DJ at my college radio station. So I was starting to get exposed to new kinds of music, even beyond that. So there was a lot going on.
So then that leads me to my next question. How did you go about curating your list? Rich, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I just went on and first I did what I always do is I just thought, okay, I think back to 2001, what songs did I love, and write those down and double check they actually came out that year. And then, just went on and found as many as I could. I'm sure I missed a million, but then I mainly rated it by songs that I loved at the time and that I still love now. I think that was really the common denominator.
All right. Amy, how about you? How did you make this list?
I always do the same thing. I just go online and I find Billboard top list of 2001. So then I go through every song, and then I try again on a different website. And I do that a couple of times, and through Wikipedia as well. And sometimes the titles that it pulls are not from the right year. There was one song that had to come off my list late, an hour ago, because I had realized it was from the wrong year. So I don't know if I'm looking at the right lists here, guys. But so I get my list, and then I just by feel. How do I, like, is this a yes definite? Is this an HM? Is this a maybe? So then I curate that. And then I usually end up with 10 to 15 yeses that I have to kind of whittle down, or combine into cheats, or, you know, we're doing the best we can. And then I just, you know, some of these numbers are so arbitrary. Like, I don't know which song is better, 1 or 2 or 3. They're all kind of great. And so I just randomly pick it.
Okay.
And yeah.
Kyle, how about you?
2001 was definitely different. I was changing. If you guys remember when we did 90, I could probably tell you the month that, you know, You Can't Touch This came out. Like, I knew exactly when. So that's when we would go back and forth, and Doug would be like, no, this song came out in 89. I'd be like, yeah, but it was released in November and it was popular in February. Well, you're not going to get that shit out of me in 2001. I was into music in 2001, but I think I was more into making my own music. And I was into the stuff that I've already heard, all the Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith. So when it came to 2001, there were good, looking at my list, 5 to 7 that I just knew they came out that year. They were on my list, that's it. And then that was kind of where I was at. I was like, okay, I got 7 songs, guys. Then I went through, I found some more. And it was definitely kind of like Amy did, where I just had to come up with my list and sort of narrow it down. But it wasn't that... It was hard to get 10. I ended up having only about 15, because beyond that, I don't necessarily think that it's shit. It just wasn't stuff that I was into at the time. So I agreed to do this podcast, and I'm very happy to be here. But this is about the point to where if we went into 2002, 2003, 2004, I'd probably have to drop off of these, because this is kind of the end of nostalgia for me. So as far as making the list, basically came up with those 5 to 7, made a list of about 7 or 8 more, and then I just kind of said what has to be there. Made my top 10. Wasn't too hard once I had the songs.
Yeah. I don't want to say I feel exactly the same way, but this was kind of a musical soup for me, and it was hard because I didn't have as clear a sense of like, well, what actually came out in 2001? There was just this stuff I was hearing in college, kind of all over the place. And so I would go through, like, let me pull up a list of 100 albums released in 2001 or the 100 top songs or whatever. I'm going like, nope, never heard of it. Nope, never heard of it. Nope, never heard of it. This was not, if it was popular, it somehow missed me. And so I ended up having pulled maybe a handful of those. I had to go back into my memory banks and go, okay, what I remember from the early aughts, and then just sift through that and go like, okay, this is a 2001 or a 2001 song. So it's in contention now. And so this was more of a struggle to really make sure I was finding the right stuff and things that, again, I could talk about with some personal significance and that I like. Not that I don't like these songs. In fact, my top 7 came together pretty easily, but 10 through 8, stuff was coming off and on and off and on this list. I was really struggling with what to keep with those. So I'm very curious to see how this turns out. I could throw it out if anybody has any predictions tonight, although I think the only prediction is I don't have a clue how this is going to go.
I think my only prediction, this is an obvious one, is I think we are going to cover all of the main genres, meaning hard rock, soft rock, middle rock, rap, country. I think, am I missing anything big? I mean, those are the big pop ones, right?
Classic.
Pop is all in there for all of that. But I think we're going to cross over to every genre we could think of.
All right. Well, let's do this. Rich, I'll throw it to you. What's your number 10?
It's the only song on my list that doesn't represent the album. I actually was curious. I went and listened to the album, and I was like, yeah, I don't need this. This song I didn't know from an album or the radio. I knew it from a television show, and it was the opening song to seeing Superman as someone my own age is Smallville, and it's called Save Me by Remy Zero.
I feel my wings have broken in your hands. I feel the words unspoken inside. When they pull you under, and I will give you anything you want. No, you are all I wanted.
haven't seen Smallville, it opens everyone, and it's moving. And then at the end of the first or second season, they actually Remy Zero like plays the high school dance or whatever, and they freak out. They're big fans, of course they are. And like I don't know the other music, but this song is really good, and it's got these long notes, and it just feels it's still, if I want to get pumped up, it's a good song for it.
I feel like we need to like pause and listen to it, because I'm sure that we probably know this, but you say that and basically here's my response, Rich. No comment, because I don't know what it is.
My feeling on it is it's got kind of an Our Lady Peace vibe to it, and I know you picked Our Lady Peace Clumsy for the 98 podcast, so I can see why this connects for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it kind of immediately, just in a quick 5 second, I was thinking like Vertical Horizon, almost early Radiohead kind of stuff. So, but I don't think I know the song, so it's without me going back and listening to it, I don't want to say anything.
All right. Well, then we'll move this quickly then. Amy, you're number 10. Okay,
my number 10 is an ad from today because one of my songs had to come off due to being the wrong year. This is not going to mean anything to anybody except for Kyle and me, but I realized today that it came out in 2001. So it's actually a song by Kyle. It's called I actually don't know who wrote it, but it's called My Piece of the Pie by Kyle's band Red Eye Flight.
Wow.
And I'll live down here near the grass and the trees and the roots that we all have beneath. And I'll smile wide. Don't mind the volume in a crowded head like mine. And if it sounds like I'm bringing you down, well, I'm sorry for that, but you know how I am. I'll have my cake and then I'm sick all night just to spite myself and you sometimes. Baker, Baker, don't you know the eggs are rotten? Well, don't you know that it's a beating I've been taking? Well, I do what it takes, what I have to do. I gotta have mine before I give it to you. I want my piece of the pie. I want my piece of the pie. I want my piece of the pie. I'm gonna get mine.
So, I don't know, Kyle, can you tell me who wrote it?
Yeah, for sure. This is an honorable mention for me, Amy, so it's kind of funny. My Piece of the Pie was written by Damian Jordan. He should get, I'd say, 98% writing credit for that. I'm sure I helped out with guitars and stuff. But yeah, if you go ahead, Amy, if you want to talk more.
All right, cool. Well, I tried to find it, so if you're out there in listener land, you're not going to be able to find this online, so we'll have to like somehow link to it for everybody else. But the song's really, really well produced. I think it's got a really cool guitar riff that it starts with. I think, did Rich write that part? Not this Rich,
Richard
or
Jasmine,
Rich.
yes. Rich Jasmine on guitar.
He went on to tour with other really famous, not famous but to me, but famous to other people bands, and he was really, really well known for a while. So he wrote this really great opening guitar riff. I really like Damian's vocals in this song. I feel like it's like he really shines in it. I feel like he's kind of found his groove. Sorry, this means nothing to anyone except me and Kyle. But I feel like he really like starts to learn how to use his vocals better in this era of the music that you guys were doing. It's kind of screamy, scratchy in some parts, which I always like in music. And there might have been, and correct me if I'm wrong, a version that came out pre-Rich Jasmine that didn't have that guitar riff, and it wasn't as good.
This was a song that we had demoed for a few years, so by the time we got it recorded in 2001, we had it down.
Okay, cool. But it's really rock and it's pop, and I just think it was like kind of the best of the music that you guys were writing at the time. So go Red Eye Flight. You won't be able to find them online, but I sure like them.
Yeah, it's a good choice, Amy, and I think our listeners are going to get a clip because, Doug, I have it and I can send it to you.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a pretty pop song. I think at the time we weren't the best at our instruments. You'll hear stuff later from me and Damien where our voices, our guitar playing, our drumming, all of it got better. So it's not the best, but the songwriting is totally solid. It's definitely sort of poppy with a heavy chorus and a good bridge and very melodic. So yeah, I mean, this was one of the best things we had at the time. Thanks, Amy.
All right.
I look forward to hearing it.
Yay.
All right, Kyle. Then what is your number 10?
Number 10 for me is another song by No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. So Rich had made a comment earlier about how he picked a song where it doesn't represent the album. That's the thing I'm noticing about looking at my list is that when we go back to 90, 91, even 95, we're looking at, the Bush album or the Alanis Morissette album. It's like every damn song is great. But this year it's different. Half of the songs I have represent albums, and the other half don't. This is one that doesn't, and I don't really know much else by this band. Fuel, In My Hands.
Memories are just where you lay down. Drag the waters to the depths, give up their dead. What did you expect to find? Was it something you left behind? Don't you remember anything I said when I said, don't fall away, leave me to myself, don't fall away, and leave life lay down in my hands again. Leave life lay down in my hands, life lies
So I picked the song because it is just super melodic. I remember listening to the song in the car with either Amy or Jeff once and thinking that the guy that's singing this, he is putting everything into it. His whole life is putting in this whole song. And I'm sure this band probably had other albums and other songs that were probably good, no comment. But this song by itself is just super strong and melodic. And it's kind of a ballad, but it's also kind of heavy because it has a lot of distortion guitar in it. So you know me and the rock music, this has to be on the list.
I have a hunch that this is on Amy's list somewhere, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Is that the only commentary you have on the song?
Well, this is a solid song that really represents the music of this era. I think you could hear a lot of things that kind of sound like this in 2001. I mean, yes, things were all over the place, but to the extent like rock had a sound, this would have been right down the middle of what that was.
Yeah, like it would fit next to Creed and bands like that. I think this band's much better than Creed, but they're similar in sound.
I remember we went to see them. Here I go again with my concert talk that nobody cares about. But I remember we went to see them when Baby was Everclear. I'm sorry. This is so stupid.
We've talked about Everclear for like 3 podcasts, so we're just going to keep it going.
I know. I'm sorry. I do think that we went to see them, though, and I was like, they weren't very popular at the time, so they played like 3 or 4 songs, and then like whoever the main act was came out. And I remember they ended with this song, and it was like, oh my God. I'm so glad we got to hear this song live because it's just so great.
When you say we, are you saying you and I?
I have no idea who I was there with.
Okay, cool. Because I saw this band live. They opened for Aerosmith at MGM Grand, but that was the only time.
I wasn't there. That was like you and Jeff.
No, Scott Wiener was there with me. It was on Ryan's bachelor party. But anyways.
At a bachelor party? You went to see Aerosmith?
We already had tickets. We had to just get away for a few hours. Yeah.
That worked out nice. That's cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with my number 10. Again, I struggled to pick which songs would go into the honorable mentions versus these lower slots, but I'm going with one y'all know, and that is Shakira's Whenever, Wherever.
Lucky you were born that far away, so we could both make fun of distance. Lucky that I love her for and for the lucky fact of your existence. Baby, I will climb the Andes solely to count the freckles on your body. Never could imagine there were only 10 million ways to love somebody. Can't you see? I'm at your feet. Whenever, wherever, we're meant to be together.
I know none of you thought I was going to pick this song. I can just look at Amy's face. Like that is not a Doug song. However, I had like 4 pop songs that were kind of competing. And I think out of the 4 I was looking at, this one holds up the best. It's the best melody. It's the most interesting. It's the one I like out of them. I was like, if I want to just throw on one of these songs and have a good time, this was the one out of those that was the top of the list. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, her vocals are interesting. She has these really odd inflections and things. And I don't know if that's because she's a native, you know, Portuguese speaker or whatever, but I just think, or is it Portuguese or Spanish? I'm not sure where she's from originally. Is it Brazil? I thought Brazil.
I thought she was from South America. Yeah.
Well, in
Where
Brazil,
do you speak Portuguese?
in Brazil, which is why I was confused.
Yeah.
Regardless of which Latin language she speaks, the point is, the song works in Spanish if you or
Colombia.
Okay, in Spanish. It would work. It works in the original Spanish. I think the English version works just as well, which is rare. To hear something where I think it kind of works in both languages, but just a very effective, simple pop song, and probably still my favorite of anything she's ever done.
It's definitely memorable. I mean, I just had to pull it up real quick, and immediately I know what this song is. It's good melody, good catchy. For some reason I didn't think of Shakira around 2001. I feel like she got more big 2003, 4, 5 around that time. I didn't realize she had stuff this early, so. Yeah, I mean, this would not be on my list, but I get it. I mean, the melody's catchy for sure.
I love this song. I think it's a great choice, and I'd considered it, but I didn't want an honorable mentions list to be even bigger than it already is, so it didn't make mine. But I mean, it's a good song, absolutely.
Yeah, she actually had songs that were earlier than this that came out in like Spanish. So I think she was well known before. There's a song called Estoy Aquí that came out in the late 90s. That I absolutely love. This one, you know, I think she's a better singer in Spanish. I mean, obviously, I think she typically just sounds better for some reason. So I tend to like her Spanish stuff more. But
it's almost as if she's better at speaking her first language.
She does kind of sound like kind of froggy when she sings. I actually have one of her other songs on my honorable mentions, Underneath Your Clothes, which I think is like a prettier, like it's slower, more melodic song to me. I think Wherever, Whenever is fun. It's poppy. It doesn't really stand out to me, but I mean, it's really indicative of the time. I feel like we were just starting to be listening to like Britney and Christina at the same time. And so that kind of fits right in there.
Yep. All right. So then we're up to Rich, you're number 9.
Okay. This album is pretty good. It's got at least 3 other good songs on it. The album's called Anthology. The band is called Alien Ant Farm, and the song is called Movies. This was in a time where there wasn't a lot of hard rock. These guys brought it a little bit.
I don't think I know it because I think the only song I know by Alien Ant Farm is the Michael Jackson cover, which might have been around the same time.
Same
so I
album.
think, yeah, so I think I could pull it up, listen to it, but I wouldn't be able to give a good comment. Well, not like how I just heard Shakira and right away I know it. So yeah.
I was gonna say I do know this song, but I think it got overshadowed by the Smooth Criminal cover. And then they just kind of went away. That was it for Alien Ant Farm, really. But again, like another rock song of this era, like to the extent that rock had some kind of unified sound, this again is like right down the middle of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe any thoughts
I'm sorry, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, then we'll go to you for your number 9.
Okay, my number 9 song is Drive by Incubus.
Sometimes I feel the fear of the uncertainty stinging clear. And I can't help but ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer.
song was actually released November of 2000, but due to Kyle's rules, that would have been popular in 2001.
And I am the rule maker.
The rules are funny. Like, when I feel like doing, like, the year it was actually released, I do it. When I feel like doing the year it was popular, I mean, I don't really care, you guys. I just pick what I pick. But this is a fun song. I mean, I had a friend in college who really
Tang
loved
Twee,
Incubus.
what's up?
Hi, Tang Twee. I don't think she listens, but hi, Tang Twee. She loved him, and I just remember having this moment on my 21st birthday, which would have been this year, crying in the bathroom about how she has to meet Brandon Boyd. Like, she has to make that happen, and it'll be just so meaningful to her. Whatever. I was happy drunk, happy tears. Anyways, I like the song a lot because, I like the message of not letting fear take over your life. That's kind of what the song is about. Like, take the wheel and drive and kind of have this ownership of your life. So I really like that message. I think melodically it's really pretty. There's some really nice harmonies in there. Comes in with this like nice guitar playing, and then it kind of kicks up a little bit. But it's kind of like chill. It's like pretty mellow all the way through. It's just kind of...
I was going to say, this is that mid-tempo stuff that you were mentioning, Kyle.
But it's nice. I mean, it demonstrates his voice, which... Actually, listening to it again, like over the last couple of days, I find it kind of nasally, but I really liked the song at the time, and it captures just this moment in time for me of, my friendship with my college girls and all that. So it's on the list.
I never knew what this song was about until now. I could sing every word, but I will learn lyrics just because I want to sing along, but I don't ever process like the meaning of them or anything. So.
Ditto.
Yeah.
I bring that to all of these podcasts. I have to analyze them. It's just like my
Thank
English
you for
degree.
teaching me stuff. I appreciate it. Yeah, this band was really popular among a lot of my friends too. That whole album that this came off of, I seem to remember, was
Make Yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Like, this was the kind of album people would just start at the beginning and just, put on the background and play the whole thing from start to finish. So it was a good, great pick.
I could really talk a lot about this, so I'll keep it quiet. So this is an honorable mention for me because it's not my favorite of the Incubus songs on that album. I absolutely love the Make Yourself album. I think, like you said, Rich, from the beginning all the way to the end, this is one of those albums where I can listen to every song. The album actually came out in 99. 2000 is when you got Pardon Me and some of the other hits off of there. I think it was late 2000, early 01. So yeah, I mean, for sure it counts. Funny thing is, in 2001, Incubus came out with their next album. They actually were riding on their next album late this year, so it's kind of funny. But I think it's a great choice. I think it's a really good song, standalone. Like I said, the album, I think, blows it out because there's so many other good songs on there. Big shout out to the title track, Make Yourself. If we're ever going to do just, top 10s of all time, that might be on that list for me because it's that good. Amy, I don't think you'd like it because it's really heavy. It's a really heavy song. But this song is a solid choice, Amy. Like it.
I, as many people required by law, owned this album as well. And I agree with you, Kyle. I think it's a pretty strong album all the way through. The song for me that kind of connected the most was Stellar. That was probably the one that made me buy the album. But this song took on a life of its own. I remember just hearing this song that you turn on K-Rock or whatever in Los Angeles, and you would hear Drive, 08, 09, like they were still just playing this thing because it just had that kind of staying power. And so, yeah, it's a very good choice for, even though technically you could get it in a music store in 99. 2001 was the year that this thing just blew up. So.
And what a interesting song, because like you said, it's totally a K-Rock song, right? But you would also hear this song like on 98.7 and 104.3. Like it would cross over to the same radio stations that was playing Celine Dion, right? You could literally hear Incubus and Celine Dion right next to each other.
It's the power of mid-tempo. You release something that's a little chill in its vibe, and you can get that to happen. Which probably, if people heard it on Ghost and then bought the album, they'd be in for quite a surprise. All right, so Kyle, you're number 9.
Number 9. So I really like this song. It's a song called Everywhere by Michelle Branch.
Turn it inside out so I can see the part of you that's drifting over me. And when I wake, you're never there. And when I sleep, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. Just tell me how I got this far.
You're not going to get these type of like kind of female rock artists on my list in general. But I particularly really love this song. I think the verses are just so strong and kind of minor, and her voice just sounds so good. And the chorus is a little cheesy. It's the whole "You're everywhere to me when I close my eyes." Right? It's kind of cheesy. It's not really the best chorus. I mean, it's solid. It's just a little cheese. But I think the verses alone is why this song I think is so strong. So it had to be on my list. Not quite enough to be towards the top of it, but had to be down here somewhere.
Great choice. I forgot all about this song. So, I mean, like, not for this podcast, like, for 20 plus years. So, thanks for rekindling it in my memory.
Yeah, I'm such a huge fan of singer-songers.
Singer-songers.
Singer-songers. We'll just go with that. Especially females. But she just never worked for me. And then she released a country album a few years later. And I freaking loved it. So if you are into the Michelle Branch, I think she probably wrote or co-wrote a lot of the other songs. The Wreckers, Leave the Pieces. Is anyone?
This is the only song I think I know by her. And it's on my list.
You're gonna, Kyle. You might like this band. I mean, kind of Dixie Chick-esque. I mean, they're riding on the coattails of Dixie Chicks. Anyways, I don't have anything to say about Everywhere because, yeah. But check out the Wreckers.
Yeah, my main memory of Michelle Branch is mostly just there was some sort of weird like, well, are you into Michelle Branch or Vanessa Carlton? Because you have to pick one because they're basically the same person. That was the zeitgeisty feeling about the two of them. But I don't have any strong feelings about this song one way or the other, other than it being, a memorable, like, nice pop song. So yeah, good choice. Okay, so my number 9, I mentioned there would be covers on my list. This is the first one. This is this is a cover I think is probably actually better than the original song in some ways. It's one of those rare covers that like really does something special and connects. And I think this is pretty haunting. And it is the version of Mad World by Gary Jules that closes Donnie Darko.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for
Which see our episode on Donnie Darko from earlier this year. Yeah, haunting is the only word I can use. Now, part of it is the fact that, yes, you associate it with the, kind of the downer ending of that movie. But even as a standalone piece, it's just, it's basically just the Gary Jules guy and his piano and a very sparse production on, what is a kind of mid to up-tempo Tears for Fears synth-heavy song. And I think this really, like, unlocks kind of the creepy alienation that's at the heart of what this song is about. And yeah, just like a song that kind of took over and people were just like, kind of, it's a real showpiece. I think it's a real wow of a song for something that's so like light and fairly simple. It's just a guy and a piano singing.
Yeah, I know the original for Tears for Fears for sure. I don't think I knew it until I heard this off of Donnie Darko. And if I were to picture a version right now, I cannot picture the version that you're talking about. But I'm not a big Tears for Fears song or fan. Sowing the Seeds of Love we talked about. I love that. This is the other song by them that I really like, and I think this song's great. I think it's beautiful and dark, really dark and melodic, and really kind of scary and spacey. Good choice.
Yeah. I remember watching Donnie Darko and then hearing the song and going, I got to learn that right now. And like, so it's not that hard to play on the piano. It's like pretty simple. And it's just so beautiful. I, again, somehow totally missed it in my research. So thank you, Doug, for reminding me of that. But that was 2001.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have been on my radar as much, but for the fact that we recorded a Donnie Darko episode as we're recording this recently, and so I had it on the brain, so it was there.
Yeah, really pretty. Really, the piano alone, you don't even. The vocals are great too, but like it's just so pretty. Just as a instrumental, it would be nice. I'm curious to know if he was chosen to do the song for the movie or if he recorded it on his own. I'll look that up later.
I knew that at the time I did the research for the Donnie Darko episode. It has escaped my brain. Sorry.
So go listen to Donnie Darko, the podcast.
Mm-hmm. As part of Patrick Mazie.
Yeah.
Our month of Patrick Swayze stuff. All right. So that takes us to Rich's number 8.
So it's funny the way you described your number 9. I thought that you were going to share this with me because this is also a cover that I think is better than the original, which I agree is pretty rare. But this is from Moulin Rouge. It's Lady Marmalade by Christina Aguilera, Lil' Kim, Maya, and Pink. And this song rocks. At any time it comes on to this day, I will move around and just, like it's a bar favorite song. If a group of girls does it at karaoke, it's always a huge hit. The whole place goes nuts. Yeah, I love this song.
It's so fun. It's got great vocals. Super fun, super melodic. Great.
It's that chorus, right? The chorus that everybody knows. Very catchy.
Oh, yeah. Sticky.
It's not just the chorus, it's the production, because what's interesting about it is it's not radically different from the original, right? They didn't change up the melody, they didn't change the key, the production is fairly the same, the tempo is the same, right? It's just like, it just somehow like is a more clear, crisp, like well-produced version. And then again, you have these 4 powerhouse singers going over it. And like, yeah, it's somehow like, it makes the original look like a prototype. And it's on my honorable mentions, like just a stomping success that, it's hard to picture a song of this like type that is better than this one.
Yeah. And just a shout out to the whole Moulin Rouge soundtrack. If you haven't thought about that in a while, I'd forgotten, when I was doing research, I was like, what else was on the soundtrack? And it was all these, memories come back, these great songs. It's a good album.
Not big on the movie, but yes, the album has a lot of cool stuff in it. All right, great. Any other comments on Lady Marmalade before we can move on? Okay. Amy, you're number 8.
All right. My number 8 is a little song called Thank You by Dido.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. And even if I could, it'll all be grey. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad, it's not so bad. Too much last night, got bills not so bad. I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And oh, just to be with you is having the best day of my life.
So her album actually came out a while before. I think it was 99 or early 2000, but the song wasn't really popular until 2001. It actually peaked in the charts in spring of 2001. So there's why it qualifies. Actually, I think the song's a little cheesy. I don't know how popular it would be now, but for the time that it came out, it was everywhere and it was awesome. And I really liked Dido's album. That was an album for me that was just great from top to bottom. And I think there's other songs on that album that are a lot stronger, but this is the one that came out in that year. I know it was super popular because of Eminem and that sampling, or was that?
That was She Knows It. She knows it.
Yeah, of course. I really like Dido's voice. She does this like interesting flip where I think someone else will know this, but it's kind of like a falsetto. I can't sing, but like she flips it, so she kind of goes into like I think her head voice, and it kind of gets like airy and interesting. And you know, I really like her. I don't know what happened to her after a couple of albums, but for a while there, she was pretty popular. And you know me and my singer-songers, so there's another
Singer-songers.
All right.
I hope you title a playlist like on whatever you listen. I hope you title it Singer-Songers, please.
I
Make it
will
public.
now. I will
Great.
now.
So this song, so Eminem, right? Eminem version is why everybody knows this song. And of course, I heard the Eminem version first, and I absolutely love the Dido. I guess it's actually the verse. That's the Eminem chorus. It's the "Kids don't call, I wonder why." That's the verse of the Dido song. I really, really love that verse. But I can't do the chorus. And it's major, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But after hearing the Eminem version first and then flipping over to Dido and hearing that major sounding, what she does, which is, I want to thank you. I get it. It makes sense. It's good musically, but I just can't do it because of what I already know. Maybe it'd be different if I heard it now. But just overall, I think not a fan because of that chorus and already knowing the verse and how awesome the verse is. There's my input.
So you can't stand the song, is what you're saying. Yeah, I like you. I heard "Stand" by Eminem first as well, and then because that got so popular, people were probably going, "Where's he pulling this from?" And so that's what made the Dido song, come up to the surface. I do like the song the way it is. I like both of them, honestly. But I do see where you're coming from, Kyle. I do think the minor key kind of menacing part of that verse, it would be cool if the chorus kind of matched that somehow. So I see what you mean, but I mean, can't criticize the choice either. Like, it's a beautiful piece, and her voice is so ethereal. Like, I don't know if it's on anyone's list, but Enya had a big song this year as well. Actually, 2 songs from this year. And like, I can see their voices kind of going together. Like, it's this airy, almost, elfish kind of, spirity sound. And yeah, really cool.
I understand what you guys are saying. I actually wrote down like verses stronger than chorus. So I'm right there along with you.
Yep.
I actually did hear this version before the Eminem version because I remember this version being everywhere, at least in my radar at the time. And so I think it helps that I heard the Eminem later, and I love that, but the original still kind of holds more that nostalgia value.
All right. So then, Kyle, we're up to your number 8.
My number 8 is a song that probably everyone does not know, and it is by a band called Spacehog, called "I Want to Live."
Young girl, it's not only you, but only you can decide. When everything's rosy here, and you've made up your mind, then come back, child, 'cause it's cold outside. Your mama don't care
I love this band. In the Meantime was their big hit. There was 95, 96. I'm sure you guys know that one. I'm not going to sing it, but check it out. This is one of those bands that was basically a one-hit wonder of the 90s. But for me, I kept listening to them and I followed them. This was off of their third album. I believe it's called The Hoggassy. Album's okay. It's not as good as their first two albums. But I totally love this song. It kind of sounds apocalyptic. It's very heavy, but it's also, as you know, I'm always going to pick melodic stuff, so super awesome melodies on this one. So I hope you listeners enjoy the 30-second clip or so.
Yeah, I don't know this particular song, but yeah, I know In the Meantime. But I was just listening to a little sample of it while you were talking, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check this out later. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know it either.
Nobody else has anything to say.
Sorry. Do you want us to pause it?
No,
and
no,
listen?
it's fine. It's okay. No. We don't need to do that. All right, so my number 8. This song is full of nostalgic memories for me. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. You might have heard of the band. The band is the Dropkick Murphys, which is an Irish punk band, which, Amy, you probably know from, because you're a big fan of The Departed. The Dropkick Murphys, that I'm a sailor pig, I lost my leg, that like screaming Irishy accordion driven thing. There's a different song by them because that song's not from 2001. I would have picked it, Ship It Up to Boston. But no, the song I'm picking is The Spicy McHaggis Jig. So this is, again, if you've heard one Dropkick Murphy song, you've kind of heard them all. They're very, just kind of fast-paced, hard guitars and accordions, basically doing Irish music. This one is lyrically like really goofy. It's like they've just made up this character of Spicy McHaggis, and they just say a bunch of like weird things that he's about and into. But I picked it because like I had a friend in college who was real into them and like Flogging Molly and all these similar. He was a good Irish boy himself and loved all of this kind of Irish punk. So just reminding me of my days hanging out with that friend and listening to this stuff. And so, yeah, I'm going with The Spicy McHaggis Jig. Wow.
Deep cut there, Doug. Nice.
Very deep. Yeah, deep. I've got some more deep cuts coming too. So.
Oh yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I just listened to a smidgen of it, and I'm like, yep, that's the Dropkick Murphys, all right. I love 2 of their songs, and the rest are all the same background.
Yep.
The only reason I know of this band is because they had a song on a soundtrack to the movie Fever Pitch with Drew Barrymore and I think Jimmy Fallon, which is like a Boston Red Sox movie.
I think it's the same song. It's called Shipping Up to Boston that is like heavily featured in The Departed. I think it's the exact same song.
Also
Okay.
Boondock Saints.
Okay. So I know that song. That's the only reason why I know the band. But yeah, no comment on this one.
But I'm sure Amy has not.
I'm sorry. This is too random for me.
All right. Okay, so we're going to Rich and number 7.
It's possible no one will have comment on this song either. This is a not super well-known band. They have a pretty good following. They're called the Old 97s. They have a couple of hits. This is not necessarily one of them. It's called King of All of the World.
I was in a real bad way when you turned the power on and you made me feel for all the world like I was the king of all of the world. I was on a window ledge when you came upon me there. Everything was upside for the moment. Right around the time I had to get going. Can't count me out, 'cause I got your number.
It's from their Satellite Rides album. They're a local band from Fort Worth, Texas, where I born and raised, and somehow they got on my radar early on, late in high school, and I don't know, I've seen them in concert a few times, and this song opens the album. It's got very much opening album energy. It's very fun. This is a song you play when you want to feel a little bit more like a tough guy, not like a badass, but just like celebratory, like I'm doing okay, that kind of thing. And a lot of their songs are real mood changers for me. So I wanted to shout out the old 97s.
I would say I know the old 97s, and actually one of their songs is on my honorable mentions. Am I Too Late was one of those songs, and it was like very close to like 10. So it's a cool random pick. I don't remember the song specifically, but if I heard it, I probably would. Actually, really huge fan of Rhett Miller. I don't know if you followed him into his solo career, but we saw him live. Me and a friend of mine, Kristen, saw him live in New York. He's really fun, really talented guy. So this is a fun pick. I'll have to listen. I'm sure I know it. I just don't know it offhand. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I don't know this band. I don't know the song. I've heard of the band. Don't know anything by them that I could think of. I just checked out a quick sample, and you said leadoff track, Rich. It sounds like a leadoff track. It felt like it was getting all set up for what else is to come. So I'll have to check this out.
Nice.
Yeah, this is not a band I know very well. I kind of know them by reputation as like, oh, this is a band you should like. They're a very solid group. And I'll come back to this in a bit because my number 7 pick is not by them, but it's by a band that's often kind of lumped in with them from this era. So we'll put a pin in that for now. So we'll go to Amy and your number 7.
All right. Well, my number 7, it's our first dupe of the night, duplicate, is actually Hemorrhage by Fuel. Yay! So I didn't say a lot before. I never know if I should like chime in at the time or keep it, but I absolutely love this song. I don't remember the exact first time I heard it, but it was one of those songs where you hear it and everything around you like drops away and you're just like, whoa, I love this. I need to hear this again, and I need to hear it again like 5,000 more times. And so this was definitely on mixed CDs I was making at the time. I absolutely loved it. It's so screamy. Great hook. So much about the vocals in this one. Such a great track. I don't know that there's anything else to say, but just that I love it. I forgot about it for such a long time until recently. And so, yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love that we brought up Fuel twice, and I again forgot about them. But they were one of the few bands that were playing on popular radio and college radio. So when I was a college DJ and felt like an idiot because I didn't know any of these bands that I was playing, Fuel was one of the very few that I felt like I could have an opinion on.
Nice.
Okay, Kyle, number 7.
Okay, number 7. Amy will know this one. I doubt anyone else will. Semisonic, One True Love.
All above me the stars are bright, and the sweet suburban breeze is blowing, and down the block are the parking lights of 100 friends who I barely know and don't know me, none of them know me, and all through the party I want to leave all alone with one true love. I could be happy if only I could be in the dark with one true love.
I had to have a song of theirs off of their, I think it's called All About Chemistry or Chemistry, that album, which is it's a very good album. This one I think is my favorite on there. It's very melodic, as you know. That's what I'm going to pick. It's sort of a ballad. It's got Carole King singing harmony on it. Really pretty well-written Dan Wilson song. I think Dan Wilson probably wrote it, maybe with Carole King. I don't know about that. But this whole album was pretty solid. There's a song called Surprise that I really like on here. I'm sure Amy's going to have some stuff to say about this. But that's my representation at number 7.
Yeah, Semisonic's great. The song is okay for me. It's pretty melodic. I do think Carole King wrote it or co-wrote it with Dan Wilson, who's also like a fantastic. I really, really want to do a Dan Wilson podcast, Kyle. So we need to come back to this top 10.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
I recently listened to a podcast that he was on, and it was really interesting hearing him talk about his songwriting process. I did send that to you, Kyle. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, I mean, I loved this album. This is one of those like from top to bottom albums for me. I think 3 of their albums are like that for me. So this is a good choice. I have something of theirs a little bit later in my list from that album, but yeah, this is a good choice.
I know almost nothing about Semisonic, but a friend of mine did recently tell me that I should get into them because they're great. So I'll start with this song. Thank you.
There you go. Okay, so my number 7, this is one everybody knows. This was a big rock song of the era. And this is a band that got lumped in with the old 97s a lot in terms of, I guess, their style and sound. And it is Last Night by The Strokes.
Oh.
Last night, she said, oh, baby, I feel so down. Oh, it turned me off when I feel left out. So I turn around. Oh, baby, I don't care no more. I know this for sure. I'm walking out that door. But I've been in town for just now 50 minutes now. Oh, baby, I feel so down. And I don't know why I keep walking for miles. The city people, they don't understand. No girlfriends, they can't understand. Your grandsons, they won't understand. On top of this, I ain't ever gonna understand. Last night, she said, oh, baby, I don't feel so down.
This song is super fun. I played it for the kids actually in the car at some point. It was, I think, this morning, and they really liked it. It was real bouncy and fun. It's kind of that great like rock energy, and it's like this sounds like it was recorded in somebody's basement on the worst equipment imaginable. You know, just like whatever piece of shit they got out of a thrift store. But there's something about that, like, well, ain't that rock and roll, right? Like, let's just make some great melodies and noise. And we don't need more than that. It kind of reminds me of like Elvis Costello's first album. Sounds like that. And it's just like, this is as like pure an expression of like rock and roll as there could possibly be.
It's a great song. Makes me want to move. You know, it's a kick-ass song. I love it. Great choice.
Yeah, I'm moving here just thinking about it. It's a fun one. It's really upbeat. Like you said, Doug, it's very sort of garage bandy. It feels like they didn't put a lot of production into it. Kind of like the song, I mean, this is a bad comparison, but like Blur, right? You know, the one Blur song, Woohoo. Woohoo! It's kind of like that, except it's not. It's completely different. The Blur song to me is kind of junk, even though it's fun. This is actually a good song. It's upbeat, it's catchy, it keeps you moving, it makes you want to dance around. I like it.
Yeah, that bass line really just keeps that thing hopping the entire time.
And the drum beat, just a boom, cha, it's fast.
Yeah, I like the song. It's on my honorable mentions. To me, it sounds like, and maybe I'm getting it confused with another one. It sounds like it was recorded live. Like the vocals kind of sound like they're far back just a little bit from the mic, so there's kind of that space there. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Reverb,
is that what it is?
It's also peaking. The audio peaks a lot. What that means is it's when your audio is too loud for the mic and it overwhelms it a little bit, and it kind of like.
Is that what you meant, Amy? I thought you meant far away, like echoey.
Yeah, kind of like he's just set back from the mic a little bit, so like, I don't know. Sounds like he's further away, but I think that gives room for him to kind of scream. Like, I like a song that it's not super screamy, but there's a little bit of screaminess in there. I was always a fan of this. I know Tanya introduced this song to me. I think she liked this band, or I don't know. I don't really know where they came from, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a good choice.
I'm sure Kyle could speak more intelligently to me to this, but what you're talking about, Amy, feels like similar to like Pearl Jam's 10, where it almost feels like it's in a larger room and there's some echo and stuff going on.
Reverb, definitely reverb or delay.
Yeah. I mean, it feels to me like it was like recorded in one take with like all the bands in the room together at the same time, kind of just playing. I don't know. I'm not very good at this music analysis stuff, but
it's like it's cool. It's garage band, reverb-y, kind of live, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another mark off of my honorable mentions. I'm not going to have a very long list.
Okay. Well, we'll just see what happens. Rich, you're number 6.
So I've already dipped into a few different genres on my list. This one, we're going into the first time on any of my lists that I've had electronic music, because from the amazing album Discovery. It's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never. Ever after work is over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over.
Not a huge electronic music guy in general, but when I hear a good bop, I don't care if it drops or whatever, I don't know all the terms, but a good song's a good song, and this song is, I can listen to it over and over, I can move to it, it's just a few, and they had that internet phenomenon probably like 2007 where people would dance to this song with the lyrics written on different parts of their bodies. So it would be like on their arms, someone did on their fingers, someone did on their legs, stuff like that. And it was just really, it was a song I've heard over and over because of all the comedy memes with it, and I never get tired of it.
I don't know this one. I just listened when I'll get like a quick 10 second or like 3 seconds because I don't want to like not listen to what you're saying, Rich. By the 3 seconds, I don't know it. So gotta check it out. Interesting that you say dance music, because I feel like dance music was something that was probably getting bigger at this time. I feel like dance music is one of those genres that keeps getting bigger over time. I mean, there was the 70s and disco, which was a different kind of dance, or maybe you said electronic music. You said electronic music, right?
Yeah.
I for some reason, I associate that with dance,
Well,
but that's
I
totally
think EDM,
different.
electronic dance music,
Okay.
I think that's the genre, right?
Okay, so the same, yeah. So this is probably when it was kind of getting big, right?
Yeah, I mean, Daft Punk put it on the map as far as like top 40.
Yep. Wow, you guys don't know that. I have this as an honorable mention, Rich. I think it's great. And it's, definitely the video we'll send you guys afterwards, Daft Hands, where this person has written, harder, better, faster, stronger on their fingers. And they are not just those 4 words, but all of the words to the song, and which the different like little short phrases kind of repeat in different patterns. So that's why that became a meme or, a viral video sensation, people being able to kind of like flip to the part of their fingers or their arms or whatever to go in pace with the song. I like Daft Punk. Like, I'm not a big EDM guy, but I think they do it very, very well. The best thing they ever did is that soundtrack to Tron Legacy, which is amazing. Like the movie is like whatever, but man, that soundtrack slaps. So, Well,
there's at least 4 other songs in this album I highly recommend. Discovery's a pretty good one. If again, I'm not a huge EDM guy either, but this is great.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I agree. Okay, we're up to Amy's number 6.
All right. What's the opposite of electronic music?
Singer-songwriter?
Acoustic guitar. Singer-songers?
Coffee shop?
Singer-songers, coffee shops. So there was a singer that I used to go down into San Diego to see a lot around this time. He wasn't very well known. He'd play these little tiny coffee shops, and he'd have a guitar, a percussionist. Maybe sometimes he'd bring in a couple of other artists to accompany him. And that was Jason Mraz. So my pick for this time is Bright Eyes.
Oh my God, lullaby, oh my child, sing it. In bright lights, big city was quite extraordinary. The drive was pretty, I was in perfect company. The love of a lifetime since we were elementary friends. The one with the bright eyes. Why can't I be optimistic? I try to find the logic logically. I had a dream and I could not shake it. I was standing up there naked. Lullaby, oh my God. Lullaby all night long. There's fear in the truth at hand. Frozen, I forgot to understand. The life keep living, growing older, more into a man. But I let it grow away from me.
This is a song that came off of a live album of his. The whole album really is fantastic, and this was his era of singer-songwriting. I purposely said it wrong. You know, as he grew in fame, his songs became a lot more poppy and dancey and, you know, more interesting musically with different instruments and things. But this was a time when it was just him and his guitar, and you could really, really hear his voice. And I absolutely love this song. It's just him and an acoustic guitar. I know back in the day, I'd make Kyle teach me these chords on the guitar. Probably has no memory of this at all. But yeah, this is a live album. Absolutely fantastic. I used to play this in the room with Kim, and she hated this song, Kyle. She hated it so much. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, it just shows off the depth to his voice, how great of a singer he is. I mean, he's got such amazing range. And I think there's a song of his that came out later where he's actually singing opera. So like, he's a fantastic singer. I hope he gets the props for his voice, and he does these really pretty runs. It's really pretty little song about, you know, going for a drive with a best friend, I think, that he's in love with. And it's really cute, and it's really sweet, and it just reminds me of the good old days listening to Jason Mraz and going to those concerts. And, you know, I feel so lucky that I had those opportunities to see him back when he wasn't really well known, and I'm so glad he is well known now, and he's still making music. But that was just such a special time.
You listeners out there don't know this, but in my mind, Amy discovered Jason Mraz. She was listening to him well before, I think, The Remedy was his first big hit.
Which was 2002, by the way.
Which was 2002, so it was close. Amy was going to these concerts. I think one time you ran into the percussionist at a liquor store down the street.
It was actually Jason. I have a picture with him in the liquor store.
So yeah. when Jason was just getting started playing these small little clubs, Amy was already into it. So to me, she discovered Jason Mraz, and then a year later he blew up. And now, I mean, then he went on to have I'm Yours, which was a huge hit like 10 years later or whatnot. So yeah, I don't know this song though, no comment there, but just, yeah, go Jason Mraz.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Yeah, and I can reveal now that by the time you're hearing this, hopefully we will have released one or several episodes of our new satellite podcast, Playing by Ear, where we take an album and go track by track all the way through it. The first of which is Mr. A to Z by Jason Mraz, chosen by Amy.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
I guess we have to record it now.
Yeah, no,
we're stuck now, guys.
That's the thing about recording
boats.
podcasts and being out of sync with when they release in time. So, yeah, so check it out. All right, so then we're up to Kyle's number 6.
So my number 6 is by another band that Amy discovered. And I believe this song came out in 2000, but really 2001 is when it completely blew up. And it is a song called Crazy for This Girl by Evan and Jaron.
She rolls the window down and she talks over the sound of the cars that pass us by. And I don't know why, but she's changed my mind. Would you look at her? She looks at me. She's got me thinking about it constantly, but she don't know how I feel. She carries on without a doubt. I wonder if she's figured out
You'll look it up, Amy, and you'll see it was 2000. But 2001 is what I remember. I remember it big in 2001, so it counts. Deal with it. And also, it was hard to find a lot of songs in 01, so I just wanted to pop this one in here. I remember the first time I heard this song, me and Amy were on a road trip up to Santa Cruz, taking her to school. It was probably like a Christmas break, come home or something like that, and she played the song. I think that was the same trip where she decided to spill a bunch of water on my leg, but we don't want to talk about that. Crazy for This Girl is a super hella melodic song. I think on this road trip, she played me a lot of her kind of singer-songwriter, which at the time I would call it just kind of junk that I didn't really want to listen to. But when she played this one, I'm like, oh, this is a hit. This is immediately, I know it. And then a year later, or probably 6 months later, the song was all over the radio. It basically ended up turning them into a one-hit wonder band. When you guys hear this, you guys already heard the sample by now. Most of you know it. Evan and Jaron, Crazy for This Girl. Thanks, Amy.
Again, you guys are reminding me of songs I totally forgot about. So thank you, Kyle. I heard 2 seconds. I was like, that one.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so full disclosure, this was the song that came off my list like an hour ago because I thought it didn't qualify. So this was my number 6 or 7, something like that. So everything got bumped up. So obviously I agree with you. It's great. I think this is another one of those albums that is good from top to bottom. I have a lot of history with this band. I remember, back in the days when we had internet friends. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one the dork who had internet friends back before anyone else did. And, I had friends that were telling me about music, and this girl named Kate that I knew in Atlanta knew these guys. She would go to their shows, and she got introduced to them. And so she shared that with us, and that's how they came into my world. And sadly, she passed away back then. I mean, it was this, horrible, horrible time for me. But anytime I hear the song, I think of her. And I actually got to meet Evan and Jaron at a coffee shop. They played on the road that we were today, down in Encinitas. There used to be an album or a music shop down there, and they just played in the street. And there was a crowd of like maybe 20 of us watching them play live. And so I had a chance to go chat with them afterwards, and I talked to them about Kate, which was just kind of a special little memory for me. So anytime I think of this, I think of her, and it was a long time ago. But going back to the song, so there's nostalgia there. Getting back to the song, they're great songwriters. I actually think Dan Wilson helped write not this song, but some other songs on that album. They kind of disappeared after a couple more albums. I think they made like a travel show, honestly, on some like Discovery or something like that. But fun. It's fun. There's 2 hot twin brothers. That's it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad I got a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I obviously had a lot prepared to say, and then I wasn't supposed to. But here we are.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number 6 is a singer-songer, maybe America's greatest, most legendary singer-songer of all time, and it is Bob Dylan's "Mississippi."
Every step of the way, we walk the line. Your days are numbered, so am mine. Time is piling up. We struggle and we straight. We're all boxed in, nowhere to escape. City's just a jungle, more games to play. We're trapped in the heart of it, trying to get away. I was raised in the country, I've been working in the town. I've been in trouble ever since I set my suitcase down. Got nothing for you, I had nothing before. Don't even have anything for myself anymore. Sky full of fire, paint pouring down. Nothing you can sell me, I'll see you around. All my powers of expression, I thought so sublime, could never do you justice in reason or rhyme. Only one thing I did wrong, stayed in Mississippi a day too long.
This song came up on our 98 podcast because although Bob Dylan wrote it, initially Sheryl Crow's version was done first. Then Bob Dylan decided, I guess I'll release this after all. And he put it on his album Love and Theft, which is, I think, his last truly great album. It is an exceptional piece of work. And it happened to come out, as we mentioned last time, on September 11th, 2001, a day that's not otherwise memorable for any reason. And but this song is beautiful. We talked about all the great stuff in the lyrics in the 98 podcast, but really that was one of the things that drew me to it. Because not only is it a cool kind of vibe, like it's kind of Dylan's version is much slower than Sheryl Crow's. It's a little more like backcountry kind of sound. Roll your windows down. It would be like at home almost on like the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack. It's a little more like that. But he's singing about just like, man, I stayed in Mississippi a day too long. Like things have gone badly. I just couldn't let things go when I should have. And he kind of iterates on that concept throughout the lyrics. But I love this song.
Not familiar with it myself, but again, I'll check, add it to the list to check out after.
Ditto.
Yeah, this was on my list, my Sheryl Crow list from 98. So fabulous, fabulous song. I mean, I actually prefer the Sheryl Crow version to the Bob Dylan version. I think it's a little more poppy. It's kind of sped up a little bit. I think it's more interesting. But lyrically, it's fantastic. I mean, same lyrics on each version. He packs a lot into those verses. It's great. I mean, I know you, Kyle, and Rich, you guys aren't super into lyrics, but if you're going to check out a song, this is a great one. I'd listen to those lyrics. It's fantastic. So great choice. Love it. This probably would go into like the top 20 Amy songs of all time. The Sheryl Crow version. I just absolutely love it. I love it. Such great.
All right. That takes us to Rich and your number 5.
So for number 6, I did an EDM song. I'd never done that genre before. This is another genre I'd never done before. Quick story, grew up in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. We have the stockyards in Fort Worth. It looks like Fort Worth did circa 1890. We have, my high school had a rodeo club. We would get off for stock show days. It was, Texas. And I kind of rebelled against that. So I never allowed myself to really get into country music as a kid. But around this time is when I dropped this, rebelliousness. And I was like, it's just music. It can't hurt me. I'll like it or I don't. Let me just start listening to it. And I found a lot of country that I liked. A lot I didn't. But one artist who I've been a fan of ever since, and this is not even one of his hit songs, so whether you know him or not, you would know this song, but this is another leadoff song. I guess I love leadoff songs. I didn't know that about me. But it is Brad Paisley. It's called 2 Feet of Topsoil.
Yesterday I thought that I was low as I could get. I'd hit rock bottom ever since you up and left. But this morning when I saw you with somebody else, well, needless to say, that's when I started sinking even lower and as far as where I'm at today. Well, there's 2 feet of topsoil, a little bit of bedrock, limestone in between, a fossilized dinosaur, a little patch of crude oil, 1,000 feet of granite underneath. And then there's me. I was kind of hoping I could dig my way back out.
Brad Paisley's one of my absolute favorite artists, not genre specific, of all time. I think he's great. He writes serious songs that are great. He writes tongue-in-cheek songs that are almost Weird Al level comedy, but not quite that comedy, but just kind of like lighthearted. And this is about like a husband being in trouble, and he's like, there's 2 feet of topsoil, a little bit of bedrock, limestone in between, and then he describes all these levels of the earth that are accurate, and then he goes, and then there's me, talking about how much trouble he's in. And like, he's got a lot of songs like that. There's another song on this album called I'm Gonna Miss Her, where he's talks about like a woman says it's me or the fish, because he likes to go fishing, and he goes, well, I'm gonna miss her, and it's a fun, cute song. But that whole album's great. It's called Part 2, and if you're familiar with it or not, Brad Paisley, someone to check out.
Don't know it. I really appreciate what you said, though. I mean, just country music. We haven't touched a lot of country music on these podcasts. I am not a huge fan of country music, but it's one of those genres where overall not a fan, but there's definitely a good chunk of, probably 50 songs. There's probably a lot, but not as much as you're going to get hard rock out of me. But It's pretty good. For me, you have to kind of find the right song. It's a little bit more tricky. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. I know, Rich, like you're definitely more into pop and rock, and you haven't mentioned a lot of country. So the fact that you say that you like this, it makes me want to hear it. And also, I like what you said about leadoff tracks and how you think that maybe you're a leadoff track guy. I just had this thought, like it would be pretty cool to have like a leadoff track podcast where all you can put on there is like best leadoff track, right? Enter Sandman leadoff track, Welcome to the Jungle. Like we can make a huge list of these leadoff tracks. So it's kind of fun.
That's cool.
But yeah, don't know this one.
I think I'm the opposite. I'm like the track number 12 girl. I like the slow ballad that no one else knows. I don't know a lot of Brad Paisley. I think most of my country love is like female singer-songers who kind of cross over into pop and country, although not really Taylor Swift. I know she used to be pretty country. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear a little more.
Yeah, I don't know this particular song. I've heard Brad Paisley before, and just his voice is remarkable. Like it's such a pure tone. Like a few country artists have this, like the sort of like quality to their voice. It's hard to describe. It is like the man could never. There's no way in hell he would ever need an auto tune. Like the guy is just so pitch perfect in the way he delivers every line. He's very deliberate. So yeah, I'm not a big I'm not that knowledgeable about his career, but like that level of vocal talent is that doesn't come around all the time.
And Kyle, I agree with you, Doug, and also Kyle, in addition to his voice, he is an exceptional guitar player. And I'll send you a video of him playing guitar, and I think even among guitarists, they're like, oh, he's very good.
Nice. Does he write his own music also?
Yes.
Awesome. I know with country, sometimes they don't always write. Well, I mean, with any genre, you're going to find people that don't write their own stuff. But yeah, that's already a turn on if you know that their stuff's coming from their own brain.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Amy, number 5.
All right, number 5. I feel like this is one of like the biggest songs probably from 2001, at least in Amy's land. It's Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all fading and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did you fall for a shooting star? One without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there.
Yeah, so I like Train. I like I think that their first album, or the album that I heard first, the one before this, was actually a stronger album.
The one with Meet Virginia and Free, right?
And it's a little more country. It's like southern. It's kind of, this song's a little more poppy and more mainstream. That album was a lot less so. So maybe they went where the popular music was. But I think this is a great song. I think it's really melodic. It's really showcases Pat Monahan's voice. He's a really great songwriter. I always loved the message of the song. Although today I looked it up and it's not quite what I thought it was, but how I interpreted it was that, he's got this girl and she's going to go off and she's going to explore and do her thing. And he's going to be there waiting for her when she gets back, which I just love the message of it. I found out today that it was really about his mother's passing, and it's about her kind of being back in the atmosphere. And so it's kind of like a sweet message about, someone watching over you. And so next time you listen to the song, listen to it with that kind of in mind. But yeah, I think it's super catchy. It was everywhere. The song was on the radio all the freaking time. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing it. Yeah, I think it's a super, super strong song. I really enjoy it.
On my honorable mentions, Amy, absolutely. This was on my top 10 at one point. It got knocked down a couple, but this great song, great album, great band.
Yeah, I mean, Drops of Jupiter is huge. Like you said, I think it's probably the biggest song so far that we've mentioned on this list. Their album before, I think, was okay. When this thing dropped, this thing was monster. I ended up going on to really liking the band and really liking this whole album. And to be honest, they're one of those bands in the 2000s of rock that have actually kind of kept my interest over the years. Like they had that song, Hey Soul Sister, that came on probably 5 or 10 years later. I really like their stuff. I really like the song. I think the orchestration is great, the melody. And this is one of those songs where, Rich was talking about lyrics earlier. Like, it doesn't really matter what it means. This probably, I could say, I don't really know what it means. Now I do. But I know every word to this song, and everybody knows it, Now she's back in the atmosphere with Drops of Jupiter in her hair. I mean, everybody knows that stuff. This is a great choice, Amy.
Yeah, this is a great song. It's probably still their best song. I'm not the biggest Train fan, but I can't think of a better compliment the song got than it was. I believe it won a Grammy, and the person who was announcing that win was Stevie Wonder. And when he got to when he was announcing who it was, he just kind of went, "Tell me," like singing it, and you realize like that kind of unlocked it. Like, oh, this is basically a Stevie Wonder song. Like that's what it is. That's what it sounds like. And like he's probably the only person who could cover it and do better than Train. But because he's a fucking legend. We'll have to get to on this podcast at some point. But like he, the melody, the kind of like those like kind of jazz chords they use for parts of it, like as you said, the orchestration. Like this is a very polished, like well written song.
Production too, right? Not just the song, but the way that it's produced with all the instrumentation, the piano and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Kyle, number 5.
All right, number 5. So now we're going to start to get into the stuff that I hold closer to my heart, because now we're getting into the stuff that I really like. The 10 through 6 for me, I like them. That's good. But now we're getting to the good stuff. So number 5 is my bad boys from Boston, Aerosmith, Sunshine.
I sold my soul for a one-night stand. I followed Alice into Wonderland. I ate the mushroom and I danced with the queen. Yeah, we danced in between all the lines. I followed daylight right into the dark. Took to the Hatter like a walk in a park. But then I met her, yeah, she felt so right. No child of the night, yeah, was she. They call her sunshine, the kind that everybody knows. Yeah, sunshine, she finer than a painted rose. Sunshine, her kind of love's what I adore. What kind of trouble am I in?
You guys probably don't know this song. It wasn't huge. I think they might have released it as a single, but the album Just Push Play was not. This is not one of the best Aerosmith albums. If you guys listen to the Aerosmith podcast, there probably was not a single song that was mentioned. Jaded was the big song off this album. I love this song. I think it's super melodic. There's always a song off of every Aerosmith album, even some of the stuff that I'm not into, to where I always like, oh yeah, this is the sweet spot. Back in the day when this album came out, it came out in February or March of 2001, and it was like the days where you can go to Tower Records the night before at midnight. So of course, this is Aerosmith. It's my favorite band at the time. I go to Tower Records, I pick up the CD, I drive home. It's like 1 a.m, and I start listening in bed. And I think after 3 or 4 songs, I kind of was starting to doze off. Not because it wasn't a good album, but just because I was tired and it was late. Sunshine is about the 6th or the 7th track, and I literally woke up when I heard this, and I was like, "Oh, we got some old style, like good rock and melodic Aerosmith stuff happening now. This is quality." I don't recommend Just Push Play as an album, but I recommend Sunshine.
This album, I never had it. I was a huge Aerosmith guy too, but Napster was full in effect at this point, and when Jaded came on the radio, I was like, I like it, but I don't like it enough necessarily to like buy an album. And
right?
I wasn't really buying albums anymore at this point, so I didn't know any of the deep tracks. So I'll have to put this on the list to listen to.
Yeah, and Jaded is it's kind of right? I mean, it's okay, but there's nothing special. We're not going to hear that tonight from anyone else, is my prediction. There's my other prediction of the night. No Jaded.
Yeah.
Coming in at my number 4, Jaded. No, I'm just kidding. No, as much as I want to put an Aerosmith song on from this time period, it just wasn't where it was at. Yeah, I don't remember this song. I know Jaded. I think there was another song from this album that I knew.
Fly Away From Here was kind of a ballad. Honestly, folks out there, it's not don't go listen to Pump or Toys in the Attic or Rocks. Don't just push play.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Jaded was the only song I knew off of this, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. All right, well, my number 5. I don't think would be. I'm guessing this album may come up at least on one more list, if not 2. Because this was a big album that year, but it was Weezer's Green album, and I'm going with Crab. This is my favorite song off that album. I think we talked about it on the Weezer podcast we did at the beginning of the year, and I just really like this one. It's that the lead into the verses is so good. It's just a simple pop melody that I really love. I have a hunch that Amy's got another one coming off this album, but we'll see. But I'd be very surprised if Kyle didn't have a choice off of this album as well. So. Yeah, Crab.
I need to hear it. I can't remember.
Crab, if you wanna.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great choice. Obviously, you're gonna get something off this album from me in a bit. This is one of the stronger tracks. I mean, they're all a good 7 or 8 of these out of the 10 are totally solid. But this, I think, I remember talking about this on the Weezer podcast. I like that the intro is sort of like the bridge. It starts off with that, it goes into like an instrumental version of a part that happens later in the song, which is a really cool thing to do, especially for Weezer, because if you guys remember this album, this is the album with Island in the Sun. A lot of songs on here that people know. They had this thing where they would do their guitar solo as like a melody. So like the song, I don't want to say other song because someone might have other ones, but this song, I don't know if it does that, but it's still super catchy. And it's super catchy, and it's like the 6th or 7th song on the album. Maybe 5, 6, or 7 down on there. It's such a good collection of songs. Great choice.
Yeah, really fun choice. I wasn't expecting Crab off this album from anyone, but that's cool. This album is great. My number 1 honorable mention, which I won't say now, is a different song of this album. But yeah, it's a really good choice.
Yeah, it's fun. I like the part that it goes... oh no, I'm gonna sing. You can cut this. Down, down, down. Can someone else sing it better? I like that part. I like that part a lot. It's fun. I mean, this is another one of those albums that was just fabulous from beginning to end. Yeah, I didn't have this song, but maybe I'll have another one later. We'll see what happens.
Prediction confirmed. All right, Amy. Sorry, Rich. You're number 4.
My number 4, I know at least one other person amongst us has this album represented because we talked about it before. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer was not the first TV show to do a musical episode, but many consider them to have perfected it. There were 4 contenders for which song was going to represent this album, and I went with Rest in Peace, sang famously by Spike.
You're scared, ashamed of what you feel, and you can't tell the ones you love, you know they couldn't deal. The whisper in the dead man's ear, it doesn't make it real. That's great, but I don't wanna play. 'Cause being with you touches me more than I can say. Since I'm only dead to you, I'm saying stay away. And let me rest in peace. Let me rest in peace. Let me get some sleep. Let me take my love and bury it in a hole 6 foot deep. I can lay my body down, but I can't find my sweet release. So let me rest in peace. You know, you got willing slave, and you just love to play the part that you might.
This is a great song, fan favorite, second most downloads of this song on Spotify, or of this album, I'm sorry, on Spotify, and my personal, one of my favorite karaoke songs to do, particularly around Halloween, but I'll do it any time of year, I don't care. And one of the fan favorite characters doing a song. It's a great song.
I don't even know what a spike is. I've never heard that before. Yeah, never heard this. Got to check it out.
I mean, this was probably, out of all the like gimmick episodes of TV where they did a musical episode, this was one of the earliest and probably the best still. It's a great episode of television. I have this as the entire thing as an honorable mention. I didn't want to pick just one. I think I texted you like, you should, by the way, Rich, in case you didn't notice, it was that year because I figured there's no way you were going to leave this off if you knew.
No.
Because I know how much you love it. I think probably Walk Through the Fire is probably the one I would pick if I had to pick one. It was
my second, wavering back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, they're all good. Actually, all the songs are written by Joss Whedon, which is interesting. He's he is capable as a songwriter, even though he doesn't do it a lot. And it's a really just like the songs are very catchy. Like if you're gonna do an entire I've seen a fair number of these musical episodes of television, and you can tell they kind of half-assed it. They did not half-ass it here. They really did a good job.
This is great. Amy, are you a Buffy fan?
We watched it. I watched it much older. We were, 30s at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it. I don't remember the song, but I enjoyed Buffy. I liked the movie.
And we did do an episode on the Buffy series a ways back, so you can go and find that if you want to talk about it. We talked about that episode. How could you not? It's one of the more notable episodes of the show. So.
And I just realized 2 of my top 10 songs are from WB shows, so shows you where I was at in 2001.
Was Roswell also a WB show? Because Dido.
It was.
Dido, Here With Me would have been the theme song for that too.
Okay.
So there's 3 representations, sort of.
Wow. All right, so that takes us to your number 4, Amy.
All right, so this is more of a deep cut from my homegirl, Jules. It's a song called Sometimes It Be That Way.
And Romeo was a very nice man. He said, Jewel, I don't think you quite understand, and I'm sorry if you had to explain it like this. Sorry I was a point you were destined to miss, and I'm sorry I spoke to you irreverently down in the hollow by the old olive tree. And I'm sorry if my heartbreaking ruined your day. Oh, well, sometimes it be that way. I said, oh, well, I got nothing left to sell. This love was a bell that rang unheard in the air. I was bound to find out that you didn't care. Said, oh, well, sometimes it be that way.
So this song is actually a bonus track from the album. So the song came out much, much earlier, but there was a live version of it included on this album. So, I like to wiggle the rules a little bit so that Jewel can show up on every podcast that we talk about. Check the Christmas episode when I talked about 4 of her songs on my list out of 10. Anyways, so this is a fantastic song. I actually think that some of the lyrics are pulled from a Bob Dylan song, so we've come full circle. I couldn't tell you exactly the lyrics. I just know that whenever she introduces the song live, she tells a story about how some of the lyrics are from Bob Dylan. And then she played with Bob Dylan once, and he came into her dressing room afterwards and was like, what were those lyrics again that you were just singing? So she tells it really funny. But yeah, the song is great. I remember hearing it for the first time on one of those VH1 like storytellers or whatever, Unplugged, or one of those things where the artist comes on and tells the stories about their songs and sings them. And so that was my first entree into this song. But the song is about, sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes things just end how they end. And it's, oh, well, you kind of just got to pick yourself up and move on. Their lyrics are really fun. I know you guys aren't super into lyrics, but like Mississippi, this one packs it in. There's a ton of verses. There's a lot of singing in the song, a lot of words. And it just kind of keeps going and going. And you don't want the song to end, which is great because then comes another verse. And so it feels like a really long song. And it really showcases Jules' vocals. She does like this kind of long, yelly part at the very end. And I love it when she sings. Yeah. So Jewel, love her. Singer-songer.
I'm unfamiliar, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, I know. It's very random.
Jules, one of those artists
Be
to me
careful.
where like
Careful.
What? No. You'll be okay. So Pieces of You is the Jewel album that blows everything. Like when it's Jewel, like that's what I think of is like, Who Will Save Your Soul and all those songs. And I even though I'm not a big fan of it, I recognize it as really, really talented, good stuff. Her second album had Hands, and I was kind of not as much of a fan because she was getting more produced. I believe this is off of her third album, which had the single Standing Still, which I was also not a big, Amy's get the thumbs down. Not a big fan of that. And I think the fact that by this time in her career, she was getting more poppy and produced, I kind of turned away and kind of didn't really pay attention. So I don't have anything to say about this song.
Yeah, she kind of like took the same trajectory that like Jason Mraz took a couple of years later, where it's like, you start out as the singer in a coffee shop and then you get more and more produced and you kind of, she had a dance album and that to me is like, what are you doing? I get it if you want to be experimental, but that's not why I love you, Jewel. What are you doing? But yeah, this track is a live track and it's more the Jewel that we love. I don't know what she's up to these days.
Julian. Yep.
She's got her diamonds and her earrings and her...
I think she's not actually doing that. I think she's like a cowboy living on like a ranch, honestly.
Good for her.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, you're number 4.
Number 4?
Yes.
You don't get this genre too much by me, and we sort of already talked about it earlier. It is Eminem, and it is Stan.
Dear mister, I'm too good to call and write my fans. This will be the last package I ever send your ass. It's been 6 months and still no word. I don't deserve it. I know you got my last 2 letters. I wrote the addresses on them perfect. So this is my cassette I'm sending you. I hope you hear it. I'm in a car right now. I'm doing 90 on the freeway. Hey Slim, I drank a fifth of vodka. You dare me to drive? You know the song by Phil Collins, In the Air of the Night, about that guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning, but didn't? Then Phil saw it all, then at a show he found him. That's kind of how this is. You could have rescued me from drowning. Now it's too late. I'm on 1,000 downers now. I'm drowsy. And all I wanted was a lousy letter or a call. I hope you know I ripped all of your pictures off the wall. I love you, Slim. We could have been together. Think about it. You ruined it now. I hope you can't sleep and you dream about it. And when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your conscience eats at you when you can't breathe without me. See, Slim? Shut up, bitch. I'm trying to talk. Hey, Slim, that's my girlfriend screaming in the trunk. But I didn't slit her throat. I just tied her up. See, I ain't like you. Cause if she suffocates, she'll suffer more. And then she'll die, too. Well, gotta go. I'm almost at the bridge now. Oh, shit, I forgot. How am I supposed to send this shit out?
I believe this was actually probably 2000, but 2001 is when the song blew up, so it's on my list. You know how my rules work. Again, the chorus to this, which is the minor dark Dido part, absolutely love that. That's the part that really blows the song away from me. But lyric-wise, this is an amazing track about how a fan wrote him a letter and he gets more mad and more mad at the end. He eventually drives his car off of a cliff. It is some serious heavy stuff. Whether you like rap or not, or you can't take his vulgar, like, bad words that he says, like, I mean, this is quality stuff. I mean, it's the kind of song where, like, lyrically you can follow him the whole way through it and kind of know exactly what he's saying. I think this is great. I think that this is genre of music. I think this is particularly Eminem's best song. I think the fact that he used Dido is great because they were able to get some melody in there is what takes it home for me. Without that chorus, without that Dido chorus, the song, I would never have even heard it. That's what pulled me in. But then hearing the rest of it in the verse is what kind of hits it out of the park. So this has got to be towards the top of my list.
Oh yeah, this song was huge, and again, I'm not a huge lyrics guy, but I mean, every once in a while, a song pulls you in, and you're paying attention like it's an audiobook. And this thing is just—it's a performance, it's a monologue, the rap's great, but yeah, I think the mixture of the sweet and sour of the rap and the melody is really what makes the whole thing just shine.
And he even modulates his voice a little bit so that when the character of Stan is writing, he sounds just a little bit different than like Eminem himself sounds when he takes over and he's speaking as himself in the song. I think that's a really nice little touch. The video is great, of course, is pretty much straight dramatization of what he's saying in the song. Obviously the Marshall Mathers LP was a gigantic album. It's got a lot of big hits on it. Again, released in 2000. This one carried over into the following year, so I hadn't even really thought about it, but yeah, a lot of memories of just listening to this song. This was big. The summer I went to Washington, D.C. to intern, I remember this album being in the car, like when we drove out to, like, we went to see the Luray Caverns in Virginia, and we so it's like 2-hour car ride. I remember just hearing this whole album all the way through during that car ride, and just sort of being like, this is the time you really had to stand up and take notice of Eminem as an artist. Like, he had My Name Is before and some other hits, but this was him kind of stepping out and going like, you got to pay attention to me. I am a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
All right. So 6 Feet of My number 4, which is very, very different. Of course, if REM releases an album in the year we're talking about, I have to talk about them. They are my favorite band. But I didn't put it in number 1. But I do think this is a great song, really a great song on its own merits, and that is Imitation of Life. This was the big hit off of the album. This is their big single. It is one of the best videos they ever made, and certainly I think one of the best music videos ever made, period. To describe it, it's hard to describe in words, but basically it's about 30 seconds or less of footage of this backyard pool party, and it's shot from a real wide angle. So you can see there's maybe 50 people at this pool party, and they keep rocking the footage forward and then in reverse and forward and reverse as they zoom in on different individual people within this image. And they are, depending on who they're focused in on at the right time, they're lip syncing the words to the song. I don't know how they did it, unless it's just purely just digital trickery. It's amazing. It's hard to describe. You have to just watch it and go, holy shit, how did they do this? But getting back to the music of the song, this is as straight ahead an REM song as there could be. It's, Michael Stipe and company doing a perfect melody that is, again, the theme of, imitation of life, right? The chorus is that sugar cane that tasted good, that cinnamon, that Hollywood, come on, they're talking about surface level, happy fun time bullshit that is in fact bullshit. And that's, probably one of the last great REM songs in their catalog. Mm. And none of you know it. So
no, I didn't want to go first. I love this song. I love REM. I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves correct, when I first heard this song, I thought I was listening to a late 80s REM song that was just on the radio. And when I found out it was a new release, I was like, holy shit, they really captured their old sound again.
Yeah, the album doesn't. The album is by and large more a little synthy, little electronic sounding. This album and the album that came before it that I referenced last time, Up, that has Day Sleeper on it, much more electronic and different. But this track, as you said, could be released on Document or Green. It sounds like their old selves.
Yeah, I don't know this one. I just gave it a quick sample and checked it out, and immediately I wasn't enough to give a real opinion of the song, but I'm like, okay, cool, it's REM. It feels like it could have been next to Stand or Losing My Religion. It could have been anywhere from 88 to 2001. They're one of those bands that, like, you guys know I'm not a huge REM fan, but they've been consistent throughout their whole career, right? They've been putting out quality stuff, whether or not it gets popular or not, but you could definitely recognize that on most of their albums, at least from like 86 to like this time, I don't know what they did after that, is you're going to get good stuff. You're going to get quality REM, well-produced, well-written songs.
Yeah, they go through eras. They're one of those bands that's like, you know, in sort of like the Beatles, right? There's very like distinct phases of their career. And after this, they put out an album that straight up sucked. But then their last two albums, they came roaring back with like the one that came after the sucky album was like, oh, fuck this. Let's just make some loud ass noise. And it's almost like a thrash punk album out of REM, which is amazing. And then their last album was like, it was like Abbey Road. It was like, here's like a greatest hits pack, everything we do as a band in one kind of thing. They went out very strong. So, nice. Yeah. All right, that's enough about REM. Let's get to our number 3. So, Rich, your number 3 is up first.
Again, in doing these podcasts, I've noticed patterns about me, and one thing I tend to say a lot, I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or what, is that I use songs to get me in certain moods. Like if I feel like, then I like, there's certain playlists I have of songs that will like force me to move, and this has been on it ever since 2001. It is Jimmy Eat World, The Middle. It's off the album Bleed American. I think the album has got at least 4 other great songs on it. I'm not sure about all the deep cuts, but this song was the monster hit, and it's still, as soon as I hear the first ding, 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 like I'm just already like ready to just scream and pump my arms up and go nuts.
Fuck yeah, Rich. Good choice. This is an honorable mention for me. I like the song. I think it's, there's stuff he does with the vocals to where you want to, I can't describe it, but he doesn't keep the exact melody. He kind of goes, like he does. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe it just sounds like I'm drunk. It sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about. But we'll just leave it like he does really cool stuff with his voice. But I agree. I heard this album. It's a quality album. There's probably 3 or 4 tracks. This was the big one. This was the big popular one. It's one of those songs that when I hear, and I don't hear it too often. It's probably a 3 to 5 times a year kind of thing. I actually want to listen to all of it and get through it because it just kind of brings you back, and it's catchy and it's upbeat, and it's almost kind of reminds me of like Green Day or like Lit, you know, like one of those like late 90s bands. Good choice. Okay. Honorable mention. I don't know if I said that, but
yeah, I didn't realize the song. If you'd asked me when the song came out, I'd say like late 90s. Like it feels to me like kind of Sugar Ray-ish. Like yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like it kind of makes you want to move and groove. I think the song was so overplayed, and I think that's kind of what the damage it did to me is, you know, one of the songs you hear it so many times, it's like I can't hear this anymore. But it's catchy. It's fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a different song from this album on my honorable mentions, and it's Hear You Me, which is the ballad, and it is like, that is an amazing ballad that like it wasn't a hit. I don't think they released it as a single, but that song, like, I remember when I heard that, I was like, this is very impressive. But The Middle, like, I think it's been long enough since I last heard it. Like, I could hear it again now. It's been enough space.
They have the song "May Angels Lead You In."
That's the one I was talking about. It's called "Hear You." The song is called "Hear You Me." Is the title of it.
Oh, okay. That's the one that was on the Butterfly Effect soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one, Doug. That's a good, solid one.
No, yeah, I love that song. But yeah, The Middle is also like, I could see like throwing this on and seeing how the kids do with it, because it's very bouncy and fun. Like,
yeah, it would feel kind of like that one you said earlier that you played for the kids. Yeah.
Oh, probably. The Strokes. Yeah, last night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, cool. So Amy, you're number 3.
All right. Well, we can't talk about the early aughts or late 90s without my favorite band. So for my one and only Amy Cheat, we've got some
Here we
songs.
go, guys.
Would you like to guess?
It's got to be Matchbox 20.
Any guess?
Oh, could we get a hint?
No. The
Celine
Cheat.
Dion. You said band, but I'll say Celine Dion. Yeah,
I
multiple.
don't know. Nelly Furtado. I don't know.
Oh no, he already got the band. I thought you heard that, Kyle.
Oh,
I thought
then
you
you're
were
going
gonna-
Last Beautiful Girl, probably, right?
It's Last Beautiful Girl and Mad Season.
This will all fall down like everything else that was. This too shall pass, and all of the words we said we can't take back. Now every fool in town would have left by now. I can't replace all of the wasted days, the memory of your face. I can't help thinking maybe if we ever could have kept it all together, where would we be? 1,000 lost forevers and the promises you never were giving me. Here's what I'm thinking. It won't be the first heart that you'll break. It won't be the last beautiful girl. The one that you wrecked won't take you back. If you were the last beautiful girl, you know the last beautiful girl. So tell me one more time how you're sorry about the way this all went.
Because we're cheating. We're doing a cheat. Sorry. It just is what it is. All right. So Matchbox 20, Mad Season. Mad Season came out in 2000, but these were the last two singles that were released in 2001, so it qualifies. This is a great album. I really love Matchbox 20. If you want to hear more about my love for Matchbox 20, I talk a lot on our podcast. Go check it out. Doug will link it in the show notes. But I really couldn't pick between these two songs. I think they're very different songs. You've got Mad Season, which is kind of this like catchier, upbeat kind of song, and then Last Beautiful Girl. It's like down. It's not really. It's still got like this tempo, but it's darker. I don't know. Kyle can talk about the musicality of it more, but you know, Mad Season's this song about being famous and being thrown into the mad season of it all. And then you got Last Beautiful Girl, which is, you know, he's singing about a breakup and it's not a happy ending. But they're both great songs. And I really like Last Beautiful Girl. He kind of changes the melody at the end. Love you, everyone else's girl. That part, Kyle, it's really cool at the very end. Anyways, yeah, Matchbox 20.
It's funny, like, so this album came out in 2000, and like you said, Amy, like, the songs were sort of, like, If You Were Gone was one of the big ones off of here. Not the best song, in my opinion, but the singles bled into 01. For some reason, I didn't put any on my list, and I think it's because it was personal, because when the album came out in 2000, this would be on my 2000 list. I'd put a bunch of songs on here from my 2000 list, so I just kind of ignored it. But I totally get it. It totally qualifies. I do agree with you. I think that Mad Season and Last Beautiful Girl are the best songs on this album. I think this is probably, of the three first Matchbox 20 albums, this is probably my least favorite of the three. But there are still a lot of good songs on here. There's Bent, and there's The Burn, and Rest Stop. A whole bunch of good songs. But yeah, I particularly like these two the best. Very melodic, great choices. Can't say anything bad about this.
Don't know these two tracks. I'm just looking at the album now. I remember If You're Gone, but so I'll have to listen to these later.
Unwell, was that? No, that was off the third album, right? Unwell, no. Yeah, that was the third one.
I feel like If You're Gone and Unwell are a little. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the albums. We found that out in the podcast.
This is the album with Bent and
Bent's on this one.
Bent's strong. Not as good as these two though. Kyle, I thought I was gonna hear from you about Last Beautiful Girl. I thought that was
2000 for me, just because I was big.
Your rules don't make sense.
I know that I'm all over the damn place.
So am I. I do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, we have fun here, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving along. So we're up to Kyle's number 3.
So number 3, I'm gonna let you guys. Well, I think someone will get it. Okay, so this is Weezer. It's off the Green album, right? I kind of want to play a quick game here. I just want to see if you guys can guess it. I think it's gonna. Amy, go ahead. You go first.
I gotta pull up the album to see which songs are on it. I mean, I know it obviously.
Doug, why don't you go
I
ahead
have
and
a
go
hunch
first?
based on our Weezer podcast.
Go ahead, Doug.
I want to say it's Dope Nose.
Okay, Dope Nose is not on this album.
It's not?
No, it's on the
then
next
it would
one.
have been. You're right. That was this follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say "Don't Let Go."
Okay, there's one guess by Don't Let Go. Rich, you got something ready to pop?
I don't know. I don't know you as well as your sister, but I'm guessing Hash Pipe.
Okay, and then Doug?
Yeah, that was the other drug song. It might have been Hash Pipe.
Okay, so my choice is okay. So this is gonna be fun to talk about. I'm gonna take a minute here, but go ahead and listeners, how you doing out there? Here's a song by Weezer called "Hash Pipe." Hash Pipe was not in my top 10 Weezer songs, and it is probably not in my top 50 Weezer songs list. If I were to make a list, I don't think that Hash Pipe is amazing. However, this podcast is based on nostalgia. And who said "Don't Let Go"? Was that Doug? Was that you? Amy, "Don't Let Go" is probably my favorite song off this album, right? I know what yours is, Amy. Don't even have me guess because I'll just know what your choice is going to be. But this album is great. We've talked about the Green Album. Island in the Sun's another big one off of here. Hash Pipe, to me, is not the best song on the album, but the reason that it's here is from nostalgia. When Weezer first came out with this album, boom, 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 and it was just kicking, and I knew that Weezer was back. It had been 3 or 4 or 5 years since I heard Pinkerton, and I was just ready to go. This was the song on the radio at the time. This was big. This is my number 3. But once I heard the album and I started getting more into it, I can probably name 5 other songs that I like better. But just on the nostalgia, this has to be near the top of my list.
Nice. Great song. I like this. I probably don't know Weezer as well as you, but so I'm not sure if I know 50 Weezer songs, but it would probably crack my top 10.
Rich, you got to listen to the Weezer podcast. It's a good one if you haven't yet.
No, I don't think I have. I got to check that out.
Yeah.
There you go. It's from it was the first one we released in 2025, actually. And I agree with you, Kyle. I think this is I think it's one of the weaker songs in the album, and it's still a very good song. Like that's not a knock at it because that album is, I think, very, very good. And I definitely remember hearing that because I think this was the single they probably led with.
This is the first one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing going like, well, this is a little different because I was not as keyed into Pinkerton when it released. Between this, I was still kind of my memories of Weezer again in 2001 were more of the Blue album from a few years before that. So I was thinking, I almost felt like they jumped from the Blue album to this, and I was like, this is interesting. It's a little more dark because that song is very just like dun 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 dun. It's like Jaws, that song. And so I was like, but it's still kind of jokey, right? It's this whole song about a hash pipe. So I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, but I was like, well, I better go pick up the Green album. And I was like, I was pleasantly surprised. There's a lot here to love. So, yeah.
Another great leadoff track, by the way.
No, Hash Pipe is not a Weezer track.
I'm sorry. This "Don't Let Go" is another great leadoff track.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
what you were mentioning.
Absolutely.
In my mind, it made sense, but yeah, I should have said more words.
I think that this is the one that goes,
Yep.
like, I feel like that's stronger than I don't even know what the chorus is. I got my hash, but like, yeah, it doesn't really have much of I guess, okay.
You got your
I was gonna say, it doesn't have.
It's kind of got a chorus.
Yeah.
It's grindy and hard. It's heavy.
Yeah, this one's okay for me. I kind of think it's, for me, their songs are so melodic and so interesting, and this one's kind of like, it's kind of like right in the middle. It's not too strong. I mean, I think it's not cheesy. Like Island of the Sun to me is so cheesy and like probably not as like lower on my list from this album. So yeah, I just think there's stronger songs on this album, but Green Album is such a good time. There's such good memories from this album in that time period. Yeah.
All right, so my number 3, this is my the last cover I have on my list, but this is I think one that's really, really great, and it's not easy to do to go up against Nina Simone, but I'm going with Muse's cover of "Feeling Good."
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom in the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
I've done this one at karaoke. This is it's basically very similar to the Nina Simone, but they add the Muse production, right? It's a much heavier rock sound to it. But I mean, yeah, like this was the first kind of big hit they had before they started to hit it really big with their next album with songs like Hysteria and Time Is Running Out. They're a band I happen to like a lot. I've seen them in concert a couple times. I mean, they're phenomenal musicians, and but yeah, when I realized this was from 2001, I was like, I can't not include this. It's so good.
Wow, totally forgot about this song until you said it. I mean, I hear the whole thing in my head. I heard it a million times, but yeah, what a cool choice.
So I don't know the song. It's funny because when I started doing my research on this year, I saw that Muse was popping up. I'm like, oh, wow, they were actually doing stuff in 01, because I didn't really know Muse until I heard Starlight, which had to be 5 years after that. And to be honest, like the songs that I know by Muse are probably only the popular ones. There's probably 3 to 5, maybe only like 2 or 3. What's that one? The really popular one. They will.
Uprising? Is that what it's called?
Uprising. Thank you. I don't have to sing it. Appreciate that.
Ben loves that song. Yeah.
It's really catchy, and that's the thing about their songs that I know is that they're just so good. This is a band I really need to go down the rabbit hole, because just the few that I know are just.
I'll send you a couple albums to listen to. In particular, they're kind of middle ones. One called Absolution, and then Black Holes and Revelations.
That's the one with Starlight.
That's one with Starlight. It has Knights of Sidonia on it, which is kind of the first song that really came into my orbit. Which is like, oh, these men have studied their queen. That is they will package classic rock into their stuff really well. In fact, when they're live, all of a sudden, like they'll finish a song and then they'll bust out like the riff from Back in Black for no reason, just to like, yeah, let's have some fun, and then stop, or a Led Zeppelin riff or something like that, just to show off. They're really great.
They got a cool sound that's like different from anyone, at least at the time. It's very, I want to use that word apocalyptic, but it's like.
Oh no, that's the correct word. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It probably is, right?
Mm-hmm. No, they have the song that opens up, I believe it's Absolution, literally is like they're singing "This is the end of the world," and it sounds like it. Like the image that's the cover of that album is like a guy looking up as like planes fly overhead. They've some great stuff. All right, that brings us to Rich and your number 2.
So I'd said I stopped buying albums by this point, but that's a lie for 2 reasons, and that would be my number 1 and number 2. And as far as I can remember, these would be the last 2 albums that ever meant anything to me as albums. But for that trend to go out, it went out pretty strong, because these albums are pretty great. Number 2, the album is called Satellite. The band is called POD, and the song is called Youth of a Nation.
Last day of the rest of my life, I wish I would have known, cause I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. I didn't tell her that I loved her, how much I cared. I thank my pops for all the talks and all the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day
I said I wasn't a big lyrics guy, but this song, you can't help but hear the lyrics, because this was, unfortunately, when Doug mentioned 2001 sucked, one of the reasons, of the many, was that school shootings had started to become commonplace in the United States. And this song features like the background of kids, like kids talking in like a schoolroom kind of environment over the music. And then it's dark, and it's from the perspective of like what was going through shooters. I mean, it's dark as hell, but like it's really beautiful. It's really heavy. The whole album is great. And I mentioned earlier, like this was around the time that I'd gotten into religion pretty heavily. And even though there's some things I'm going to mention, my honorable mentions that are bands you've never heard of because they're like Christian rock. POD was a Christian band, but this album was so big that most people listening to them had no idea that they were a Christian band because this absolutely transcended.
Yeah, I know the band. Like I've heard of them, and I've heard a couple of their really popular ones. What's the one that? There's one I can't think of it.
Alive was probably their biggest hit.
Okay, I probably just don't know it by name, by title, but yeah, pretty heavy band, right? POD's pretty heavy. Yeah. I can't comment on the song. Got to check it out though.
Yeah, if it's the song I'm thinking of, yeah, this is a very heavy song, and for it to actually become a mainstream success, given that who that band is and the subject matter, says something about the quality of this song.
If I recall correctly, Rolling Stone reviewed this by saying, if you can get an album like this, all rock bands should find religion.
Nice.
Wow.
That name sounds so familiar. I'm sure I've heard something by them.
They had 4 big hits off that album, and it wasn't their only hits, but I mean that album was I think platinum or triple. I mean it was huge. That song won a Grammy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it was in whatever Weird Al's album was after it came out. Like he does that polka medley, which I've used for these podcasts sometimes, of hit songs. This one was in that medley.
Yep.
We are the youth of a nation. Yeah.
Youth of a nation. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that version is a little less dark and
a little less
foreboding.
That accordion does not lend itself to darkness.
Usually not.
You don't get enough accordion these days.
Damn right. Okay. Amy, you're number 2.
All right, we were just chatting about this album. It's the Green Album. So my choice, Kyle, would you like to say it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious. I think Doug and I both know that it's, I mean, should I say it? Hey, listeners out there, here's a song that's Amy's number 2, and I'm really confident it is Smile.
Yes.
Open the door and let your love come down. Over the wall, you're spinning round and round. 'Cause you wanted some love. I'll make it happen. 'Cause I don't wanna break your fine face, I can't take the way you wanna wrap me up inside your smile. Open your heart and let the good stuff out. Wanted me good and let me ease the job. 'Cause you wanted some love. I'll make it happen. 'Cause I don't wanna break your fine face, I can't take the way you wanna wrap me up inside your smile. I can't be gone, darling, oh very long. Never know what you're gonna do. Standing there thinking fun of you.
All right, so we were just chatting about this, but yes, I will reiterate, this is such a fun album. I find that this song is the catchiest for me. It's the strongest song on the album. This whole album reminds me of this like amazing summer that we had. I think it was this summer. Maybe it was the summer after, Kyle. Remember like the summer?
That was 05, but that...
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But it might be a different summer you're thinking.
All right. Well, I remember being at home where we lived at the time. And I remember listening to this album and, being out and about and like so much happening socially. The song, I think like the verses are so strong. It's so catchy. It's great little melody. I like the guitar, how it starts with the guitar. And then I think this might have been the song that somebody was referring to earlier about how like the guitar has the melody as the guitar solo.
This is one of many on the album, but
Yeah.
yes.
So I even wrote that down. Like, I love it when the guitar comes in with the melody at the end. It's like a guitar break that you don't really get a ton of those anymore. Just overall, just a strong, super melodic, pretty song. And if you don't know it, you should check it out. I don't know what he's talking about, by the way, and I'm a lyric person. I think it's a love song.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this song. It's beautiful. I had this on my list of Weezer songs when we did that podcast. It's I mean, nobody like knows how to write a melody quite the way Rivers Cuomo does, where it's just like the math of the melody just works. It's like, of course, that's the next line of the song goes like this because it has to. There's something very like this is one of those songs that's like, oh, it's something so beautiful that it breaks your heart kind of song.
I don't wanna break.
Yeah.
That's such a good little,
Yeah, this song, like, it's solid. I remember, Doug, it was on your list, maybe 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere down there. The cool thing about this song is it's kind of heavy, but it's actually like a ballad. I feel like it could be played slow because it's kind of got a mid-slow tempo, but the guitars are really distorted. I love that chorus, that "Sun don't want to break," whatever he's talking about. This is later on a really great album. You don't see a lot of great albums that have, usually on a good album, tracks 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be like your kind of big bangers up front. This is like probably 7 or 8 or 9, and it's great. Knew this would be on your list, Amy.
Nice deep cut choice.
Yep.
Okay, so that's we're up to Kyle's number 2.
Number 2 has already been mentioned. I didn't give it away earlier, but it is Drops of Jupiter. This has to be on my list. This and the number 1, which we'll get to. I think when I think of 2001, I think of Weezer. I think of the Aerosmith Sunshine. And I think of Train Drops of Jupiter. That's such a well-written, orchestrated, well-produced song. We already talked about it. We can move on, but got to be there.
Best song about deep fried chicken. Your best friend always sticking up for you.
That's right.
Even when they know you're wrong.
I don't know about that though, guys.
All right.
Anyways, we're not analyzing lyrics today.
No.
We could just analyze the end. Nah.
It's deep.
All right, so my number 2, this is another deep cut. So we'll see if anyone knows this. You might know the album because the album was one of the more notable albums of 2001. Even it wasn't the most like popular or best selling. This is one of those that was like highly regarded as like this is a big deal, like important album from beginning to end. Like something like Dark Side of the Moon would be like this is an album you have to listen to whole, and that is Wilco's Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. That's the album. The song I'm going with is Jesus, Etc.
Jesus, don't cry. You can rely on me, honey. You can combine anything you want. I'll be around. You were right about the stars. Each one is a setting sun. Tall buildings shake, voices escape, singing sad, sad songs. Tuned to chords strung down your cheeks, bitter melodies turning your orbit around. Don't cry. You can rely on me, honey. You can come by anytime you want. I'll be around.
And this is a beautiful, just simple song. I first heard it. This is tied to nostalgic memories. There's a guy who was involved with our improv troupe at the time, this guy named Ryan Raditz, who's a great songwriter himself, and he would do these I remember he put on at least one, if not multiple, one-man shows that were, so it was like a comedy show, but also he kind of a storytelling show, and he would mostly performed his own songs, but in one of these, he did this song. It was the first time I'd heard it, and I was like, this is beautiful. Like, what is this? And so I sought out that album, again, because it was showing up in places where people, like Rolling Stone or whatever, saying, this is one of the albums of 2001. You had to have Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And I got it, and like this song still is the one that sticks with me the most. And it's really simple. It's just an acoustic guitar, lead singer's voice, and a violin, and maybe some very light percussion, and like if you're into singer-songers, as I know you are, I think Amy in particular, you would really like this one. It's so pretty and so heartfelt. So, and it's called Jesus. It's nothing. It's not a Jesus-y song. It's Jesus, etc. Just refers to the fact that the first line of the song, that's the first word of the song, is "It's Jesus, don't cry." So the etc. is just I guess his way of saying that's the rest of the lyrics. Jesus, etc. But it's I've always loved this one, and when I went back to 2001, it was like I couldn't not include it. It was a big song for me that year.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I'm not familiar.
Same. I've heard of the band. I feel like I know something of theirs that must have came out in the like 2007 to 2010 range, but I don't know this one.
Sorry.
No, I figured none of you would know the song.
I believe this is a Chicago band. Is that right?
Yes.
Doug?
In fact, the cover of the Yankee Hotel Foxtrot album is a famous Chicago building. That's the photo that's the cover of the album.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know this band very well, but I do know that some friends of mine won a contest and got Wilco to play a concert in their backyard for their friends and family.
Wow.
I didn't go, but I'd heard the story, and like a lot of people who were into the band thought that was really cool.
They're a very dad rock band now.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten to this point. It's time for honorable mentions, and I'll throw it to you, Rich. What's left on your list?
Only 2 of my 16 have been mentioned, so here we go. The Rock Show by Blink-182, again by Lenny Kravitz. Chop Suey by System of a Down. Can't Get You Out of My Head, Kylie Minogue. If You're Gone, Matchbox 20. Alien Youth, Skillet. It's Been a While, Stained. How You Remind Me, Nickelback. Pressing On, Reliant K. Like a Bird by Nelly Furtado. Superman, It Ain't Easy by Five for Fighting. In Too Deep by Sum 41. And I'm Already There by Lone Star.
All right.
Wow, Nickelback just made an entrance.
I
Holy
unapologetically. I have no problem with. I love that song's great.
That is a great song.
All right. Some of mine are, I'm surprised we haven't heard about them. Maybe I got the years wrong. Fallen by Alicia Keys. All or Nothing by O-Town. I'm not surprised that we haven't heard from that one. I'm Like a Bird. Future Boy by Turin Breaks. Probably nobody knows this song, but it is so fun and so catchy. I want you all to go listen to it. I've got this little known track called Si Ya Se Acabo by Jennifer Lopez. There Is No Arizona by Jamie Neal. Rich, do you know that one?
I do know that song, actually.
The country song. We loved that. Yeah. Babylon by David Gray. I hated the song at the time, but now I'm a big fan. Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse. Video by India Ari. Sometimes I shave my legs and sometimes I don't. Sing by Travis. Flake by Jake Johnson. And He Loves You Not by Dream. And actually, Dream almost ended up on this list, which is quite embarrassing. But I loved that album. It was so good. It's like this manufactured band by P. Diddy. They put these girls together and made a band, and their songs were fantastic. You guys remember that? He Loves You Not.
What were they called?
Dream. He loves you. He loves you not. Okay.
Oh,
anyways.
yeah.
Super cheesy.
Yeah, maybe.
And then the last one, I can't believe we haven't heard Kryptonite by Three Doors Down. Is that coming?
Oh, I didn't even realize that was 2001.
All right.
Okay. Kyle.
Yeah, list isn't too long. I actually threw a few things on here, so it got a little longer than it was originally. I had to go Linkin Park, something off a Hybrid Theory, even though it came out in 2000, but one step closer. I've got Breathless by The Corrs. I'm surprised we haven't heard Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz. I think that's a great track. We got, I would usually not put this band in Limp Bizkit, but I think the song My Way kicks ass. And then some repeat bands. We got Beyond Beautiful by Aerosmith. The lead-off track, we talked about lead-off tracks. That's off of Just Push Play. And then, of course, Weezer Photograph has got to be there.
All right. So here's what I've got left here. I've got Hear You Me by Jimmy Eat World, I mentioned. Fell in Love with a Girl, The White Stripes, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, Daft Punk, Tribute, Tenacious D. I would have to mention that. The Once More with Feeling soundtrack from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Clint Eastwood, Gorillaz. I had that as an honorable mention as well. Lady Marmalade, Only Time by Enya. Not so much a nostalgic memory, but I heard that song 50 billion times that year. So it had to be on there. And finally, one you wouldn't expect from me, but Let Me Blow Your Mind, Eve and Gwen Stefani together. That song rules.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up to number one.
This is not the first time this has happened where a band has not been mentioned and then someone throws them in their honorable mentions. And I'm like, well, yep, my number one's not quite as big a reveal, but I don't care. Hybrid Theory is one of the best albums of top 20 albums, my favorite of all time. As Kyle said, it dropped in 2000, but this was one of the singles that dropped in 2001, and it might be my favorite on the album, although it's a great album, so that's really hard. It's called In the End.
Fuck yeah, Rich.
It starts with
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me.
It mixes rap and melody and hard rock, and it was called nu metal, and I kind of hate that term, but like this whole album is just art.
Back to back from track one all the way. I know all these songs. I saw this band play in 2000 at the Palladium, and it was mosh pits, and this is great stuff. I mean, I probably would have picked this song. To be honest, the reason why I didn't pick this song as my honorable mention, I put One Step Closer. One Step Closer is a hit. I thought Amy would have In the End, and I just didn't want to give it away. But she hasn't got to her number one yet, but I don't know. I love this. I think it's great. I think it's a perfect example of what's sort of a ballad, but also has a heavy rapping verse and then a very super melodic chorus. I think this is just a wonderful. May I use the word wonderful? This is a wonderful song.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I missed this. Like, I love the song. I probably could still sing it today, like kind of rappy. I don't know. It didn't show up on my list, so maybe it was a 2000 song. So I missed it, but I think it's a great song. Super strong choice.
This album had hits all the way through 2002.
Like 5 of them, right? Crawling was, I mean,
Yep.
there's so many on here.
Yeah, they're a band that like at the time, like that new metal shit, especially stuff like Limp Bizkit, I was like, get this shit away from me. Like this is not my thing. But Linkin Park kind of like snuck in there a little bit for me, going like, okay, these guys are a little better than like that stuff. It's, you know, they are combining rap and rock, but I think the melody writing on some of the stuff was stronger. I think Chester Bennington, R.I.P., his voice was more interesting, and so that stuff like has stood the test of time, I think, much better. In fact, probably from one of the few bands I think that really has held up when a lot of that genre like is now looked at as pretty embarrassing. And that has everything to do with their songwriting ability.
I think this song stands the test of time. I give it 30 more years. I still hear it on the radio. I mean, this is solid stuff. It's the melody. It's that Chester melody in the chorus that just takes it home.
His voice is just so, like, you can feel the pain he's singing about in his just, like, gravelly, just, you know.
Yep. Very grindy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up to Amy's number one. What is it?
All right, does anyone want to guess?
I was going to guess it was Alicia Keys and Fallen.
I would need a hint. No clue.
All right, well, I'll just share it. The band has come up, but the song has not. It's a little track called Act Naturally by Semisonic.
Our little little secret just might be the kind of thing that you can't hide. It's growing like a tangled vine and rising like a river in the tide. And everybody knew when you walked into the room, I was just a fool for you. There's nothing I could do. And everybody sees you taking control of me. Well, I'm not begging for release. I'm just begging, darling, please, please. Act naturally. Don't let our troubles show. Don't let anybody know. Till we get it figured out. Don't give them anything that they can doubt. Our little problem doesn't seem to be about to go away.
I think this is the strong song off of that album. It's really pretty. It's so melodic. It's really slow. It's their ballad track. The lyrics are super interesting. It's about getting in a fight with your loved one, and then you have to go to a party after, and you have to pretend like nothing's wrong. You have to act naturally. It's just so pretty. I mean, Dan Wilson, we've talked about him a lot before on this podcast. He just knows how to write a hook, and it's just this pretty beautiful, like kind of haunting song. No one's going to know this. Kyle knows this, but no one else is going to know this. We need to do a Semisonic podcast because there's so much you could say about these songs. But yeah, it's so pretty.
I love how it starts off with that boom, cha, boom, cha, and then the piano or whatever comes in. That is little, and it's so melodic. Yeah, this is the ballad track off this album. Yeah, this probably would have made my list. It probably would make a Semisonic list. It's a great song. Yeah, I mean, this album is sort of loaded with these bangers, but these bangers aren't your AC/DC Thunderstruck kind of bangers. They're definitely like these more melodic, slow kind of songs. Great choice. Love it, Amy.
Yeah, I don't know this one. I know the old song of the same name, which is like
The Beatles.
Which is a cover of an older one. I think it's Buck Owens might have the original one that they're going to put me in the movies.
This is not that.
It is not
this
that.
Is so
song.
much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be weird if you picked that.
Like, this song's from the 40s. I'm like,
And all I gotta do is
Rules
act
don't matter.
naturally. All right.
Now I have 2 Semisonic songs to start my journey with.
I need to. You don't have Apple Music, but I wish I could make you. Maybe I'll make you a mixtape. Do you have a CD player?
No,
Do you have a tape player, Rich? Can we make you a tape?
Maybe at my mom's house in Texas I could find one somewhere.
How do you listen to music? How can I get you music? I'll just
YouTube.
text you the names of the
I use
songs.
YouTube music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this on my to-do list.
Okay.
But of course, Rich does know the one Semisonic song, of course, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as a KJ, I will use it to literally close down the bar often.
Yeah, makes sense.
And doing so, that's why my friend I told you about earlier, he was like, "There's so many good Semisonic songs. Why are you playing this one?" I'm like, "This is the only one I know."
All right. So we're up to Kyle's number 1. What's it gonna be?
All right. So I'm excited about my number 1 because this is one of these. I don't know about best songs of all time, but I really, really like it. Rich had it as an honorable mention. I'm really glad that our listeners get to hear this tonight. Drum roll. And it is a very, very heavy band called System of a Down, and it's Chop Suey.
Self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die.
For those of you, you could just heard it, so you listeners know it, but Amy Doug, wake up, grab a brush and put a lot of makeup. Why'd you leave the keys? Right? It's that one. I think the big thing about this song is the distinction between the verse and the chorus. It's probably one of the biggest distinctions, separations I've ever heard, to where you have this super heavy, like you do not want to, nobody over 60 ever wants to hear the verse to the song because they're too old and it's going to make their ears blow up and it's just so hard. But the chorus I'd want to play for a 90-year-old because it's seriously beautiful. I think the song should have been called Self-Righteous Suicide. I don't think it should have been called Chop Suey, but it's so melodic with the harmonies that are going on during that chorus. And a big shout out to this album, Toxicity. There's a lot of really good songs off this album. Prison Song, the title track, Toxicity, is really good. When I think of 2001, I think of, Weezer, I think of Train, Drops of Jupiter, and Chop Suey. When we said that we were going to do this podcast, this was immediately like, okay, this is going to be near the top. So, I wouldn't normally pick a song this sort of heavy to be at the top of a list, but this one does it.
I kind of had a feeling this would be your number one, and I was like, should I do Toxicity as my honorable mention? But no, this song is great. I just watched like a whole 20-minute YouTube deep dive into this song. I learned so much about it. But do you know why it's called Chop Suey?
No, tell me. And also, send me the link to that 20-minute video. But go ahead. Why is it called Chop Suey?
Because the original track was called Suicide. Not Self-Righteous Suicide, just Suicide. In fact, in the very beginning of the song, you can hear him say, roll on suicide.
Oh, yeah, he does say that.
And the record company said, we are not calling a song that we think could be a hit Suicide. And so they chopped Suicide into Suey, and they chopped it. So it's Chop Suey.
I'll never forget that. That's a good story.
Yeah. That is amazing. I had this album. I think Toxicity is also, it would be neck and neck for me which song to pick off of that album. I think they're both great. But yeah, Kyle, as you said, the structure of this song is wild. Like, yes, you expect the chorus and the verse to be a little different, but it is so drastically different. Because you're going from, one of the fastest, hardest things they've done, dropping into like something much slower, and it's amazing. Like it comes off as, instead of like being just slamming on the brakes, like it actually makes the song work in a more dynamic way when it shouldn't. Like it's very interesting.
Can someone sing the melodic part?
I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die.
Okay. Yeah.
Two more things on this song. Doug, this is another one that I'm sure you're aware, Weird Al Polka'd.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And two, how the hell did this complex as shit song become like a top 40? It was released like on September 11th, and it's like, it sounds like something you'd hear in a Euro club at like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, and it was a huge hit. I mean, it's a crazy song. Great choice.
I think that if you were to take like just the verse and have that as its own song and just the chorus as its own, granted it's really good, it would not be as huge as it was. It really is that mush of the two different kind of genres, really.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so then my number one is the last one up, and it has been talked about. It is Alicia Keys' "Falling."
I keep on falling in, and I love with you. Sometimes I love you, sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good, at times I feel used.
I had this as my number one. Thinking of how I think she was 19, 20, 21 when she wrote this. Like,
she's our age, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an impressive song. The just the piano playing alone, but like these really complex jazz chords and stuff that make this up. So like to have a song this sophisticated from someone that young, this is just a stunning piece of work. And she went on to have, of course, many great songs. This whole album was enormous. Songs in A minor, whatever they call it.
Songs in A minor from someone who is almost a minor. That's
yeah. Yeah, just this blew me away the first time I heard it, and then when I found out how young she was, I was like, this person is like one of those people that everyone's just touched by talent in a way that, like, well, yeah, every once in a while you just win the talent lottery and you have it, and she does, and so this was an easy pick for me as number one.
Nice, great choice.
Yeah, I like this song a lot. She does this like run at the end of one of the verses where she kind of goes up and kind of almost screams like the end of it. I like a screamy. That's always the part that I enjoyed singing the most too. I had this album. I don't remember what else is on it, but I know I had it.
I mean, this was the hit, right? This was the big one.
This is the monster, but there was A Woman's Worth. Looks like it got a lot of
okay.
news. How Come You Don't Call Me?
Yes.
Butterflies, maybe.
Cool.
All right.
Good choice.
That does it for the songs of 2001. I think this is really cool. We haven't decided what year we're going to do next or what musical thing. Again, hopefully by now we've got the other musical podcast up and running, so go check that out. But in the meantime, if folks have anything to plug, Rich, if you want to tell the good people out in internet land about where they can find you and the stuff you do.
Online improv classes. They're friendly for people who've never done it before. It's one of the most supportive, fun times you'll have on the internet. And first drop-in is totally free, so come check it out. What are you going to lose, right? www.richbakercoaching.com.
All right. And Amy, if they want to find your cool earrings, where do they find that?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, or Etsy at Momo Bunniesmore Co.
And Kyle, I think you had something you wanted to plug as well?
Yeah, you guys look out for an album that I'm going to be releasing to iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. Don't know the album title yet, but it will be under my band, which is called Kyle and the Silver Dork. Should be out sometime in June, so look out for that.
Okay, then it's out by now.
It's out by now.
So we'll update the show notes to include the album title, which will exist by then.
Is there any
Sounds
way
good.
for them to listen to Red Eye Flight or the Victors?
The Victors are available on all those platforms, so you can find the Victors there. And then Red Eye Flight is not. Yeah, I mean, we didn't record too many songs, so no, but I think we'll have to look into that.
Send us a message if you want to hear more of Kyle's band's music.
Sure. You guys are going to hear my piece of the pie on this because Amy had mentioned it earlier. So if there's interest in there, just send us a message and we'll get it out there.
All right. And, of course, if you want to get back to us, just look for Nostalgia Marcanum on any of the social networks you like. You'll probably find us there. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, go to Facebook, Instagram, or BlueSky, because that's where I post the clues every Wednesday as to what's coming up on the next episode. And if you do have time, please do drop us a review. That makes a big difference. For any podcast you like, go and do that because it helps wake up the algorithm and helps it put on a little makeup, etc., etc.
But why'd you leave the keys up on the
You
table?
wanted to. That's why. Okay, it was because you wanted to.
Wow.
Everything's because you wanted
Children
to.
are going to be woken up.
All right. So yes, yeah, please do drop reviews. That actually means a lot to podcasts. And, of course, tell people. Word of mouth is as good as it ever was. So, guys, thanks again for another fun musical night. This was great.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. And so until next time, that is one more entry in the Nostalgia Arcanum.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. I just the fade away the shake up. Why'd you leave your keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. Grab a brush and put a little makeup. I just the fade away the shake up. Why'd you leave your keys up on the table? I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die, die, die. Die, 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 die. Hey, I'm gonna get free. I'm gonna get free. I'm gonna get free. Right into the sun. She never loved me. She never loved me. before, but it bears repeating now.
Last night, she said, oh baby, don't you feel so down? When you turn me